Very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-bet.
Win up to $1 million with your CSGO esports predictions. simply guess the kill scores of the 10 players in a CSGO match. The more you guess correctly, the bigger the prize. You'll need at least 2 correct predictions to win a prize. Guess all 10 correct and win $1 million. Experience the exciting new way to add a little prosperity when watching esports tournaments. And register now to receive a free entry ticket upon sign-up. Predict kills, win millions, prosper.
Trying to get the skin of your dream for a long time but can't get it in any way? On our website you have a unique opportunity to get your favorite knife. Users on our site can hand out skins themselves, and participants need to fulfill some simple conditions. For example, watch a video or buy a case on our website. After that, you automatically become a member of the distribution. Go to the user giveaways tab and do what you like. Hellcase.
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the CCT Western European Series 1. Of course, my name's Zerfer, and joining me is my friend and co-caster, Ted. Ted, my interesting, third game of the day, another 2-0, and now we move forward to our last game of this round of 16, and it is going to take place between FORZE and Young Ninjas. And before we get into any of the rosters or any of the teams or anything like that, do you think that this is going to be the first time we're going to need a deciding map, or is this going to be a quick and fast 2-0, and for who?
Oh, okay. So first of all, might be the first 3 mapper we see. For all of you folks at home that have no idea what we're talking about, well, interestingly enough, I think this might be the first CCT tournament ever. We have to double check on that, but I'm not sure if we've ever had a full round of 16 finished without a single 3 mapper being played in it. Every single game has been a 2-0 so far. And the previous one wasn't a fast and easy 2-0, and that's why I'm kind of deciding to choose option A, because I don't think that this one has the possibility of being a quick and easy game, even though Forza might be the favorites. When you look at a matchup and you're like, okay, it's a team that has been doing really well. They even played the CCT Central European Malta finals a couple days ago. They qualified for the RMR as well, so they've been looking really solid recently. Obviously, you go through the roster, there's been a little bit of change. We have the trio of Jerry, Zorti, and Shofi that has been together for a couple years now, but we have Crab that joined in 2 months ago, and then you have Result that joined in from the XVP Prodigy project just a couple days ago, but he's been doing all right. So I guess on paper, those guys should be the favorites. But in the end of the day, man, I mean, Young Ninjas, they've been maybe, I guess it's really hard to say with the prospects and Big Academy playing such good CS as well, but I think they've been maybe one of the best Academy teams out there, just playing it in the wild, playing in the tier 2 scene and being able to actually get some decent results.
Yeah, these Young Ninjas, they're definitely going to be no picnic whatsoever, especially, the form that Nilo has been in over the last 3 months, the highest rated player.
Man, why did he drop CS for Scoo, man?
Yeah, I know,
He's so good at the game. He doesn't need Scoo.
He's come back, though, and he's looked dangerous for Young Ninjas. Of course, that's the lineup there: Maxter, Adam B, Nilo, Era, of course the Opper, and LNC, the IGL, along with Coach Abdi. Well, it's going to be a tough day. We look at it and we say, okay, Young Ninjas, they went through the main Swiss. It was 3-0. They dropped the map to ITB and dropped the map to Eyeballers, but ended up beating them along with Ungentium as well. you know, it is a different kettle of fish when you look across the other side and you see FORZE. Of course, they beat 500 to qualify for the or more. They're going to be playing it out in Group B, and ranked at 27 in the world. They're definitely not a team that you want to be messing with, especially when you look at, you know, the lowest rated player on the side of FORZE in the last 3 months is going to be Jerry. Of course, the IGL, you'd be expecting that, but it's, you know, you don't really have too many problems when your lowest rated player is your IGL and he's even on a 1.04. So
yeah. And we're talking about Jerry, right? I mean, we're talking about Mr. FORZE. At this point, I don't think there's a lot of teams like that. I guess it's another really good example from the tier 2 space could be BTN on Nexus, right? It's kind of like you don't, obviously that's a little bit lower than what we were talking about when we speak FORZE, but it's a person that's the team. If that person isn't a part of the team, then the team isn't the same. And well, we're going to have enough time to chit-chat about Jerry later on. We're going to get a quick look through the veto to start things off. The Anubis Vertigo, Permanent Bans, nothing too interesting there from both teams. Then we see the Mirage pick come in from the Young Ninjas side. It gets countered with an Overpass that is notoriously a really solid one for FORZE, and I guess they're really happy with getting Mirage as their opening map. As we know, they're one of those CAS teams, well, one of those 99% of the CAS teams that like playing Mirage on a good day. And then we get Overpass, which has always been solid for them. Obviously, they lost their most recent game. It was against 500 in the RMR close call, but it was still in a series that they did win. And Mirage was present in that game. And then we get Inferno as a decider, which I think if it gets to it, both teams are going to be quite happy. And if this one goes all 3 maps, this Inferno could be quite close, considering that we know FORZE are still comfortable on it, still a map that they play. Still a map that they have a decent win percentage on as well. I think it's around 53% across 17 maps. They played it quite a lot. And then we have something quite similar, actually, from the Young Ninjas side. They played it 17 times as well. For them, it's 47% win rate. And we know how hella good Nilo and LNZ are on that Inferno.
We do indeed. Now, before we jump into the match, of course, we might have a look at the head-to-head and maybe, you know, a few of the individuals that both sides are going to rely on. And, of course, there are 2 hefty riflers in here. I mean, Nilo, you can see that incredible rating right now, 1.22 at the moment. He's currently sitting on an average of 85 ADR, which is absolutely incredible. And you know you're playing well when you're outshining a guy like Shalfie, who of course everybody's going to be familiar with in the CIS region. He is one of the big stars, one of the most up and coming riflers right now. And well, we're going to have to wait no longer to see these guys in the server. We're jumping into map 1 right about now.
Okay, everyone at home got a quick peek on us staring at our notebooks, being like, okay, show me the Mirage stats now, please. Okay, so the almighty notebook actually has shown me that Mirage from the side of the Young Ninjas has been played 12 times with a 67% win rate. So this is what I was staring down at, I promise, everyone. Well, Nilo's in the server, and he's already picked up a quick double. So it wasn't a long time between us actually hyping him up and him showing his worth in the server. What's going on, man? He's just deleted them. And Era's gonna pick up Jerry, but this round is all about Nilo. He's looking for number 4. Well, he's found number Kraden. Oh, hold on a second.
Surely not. Crad is picking up a little bit of pace. Yeah, I mean, we had the chances for a 1v5 in the last game as well. The bomb is planted reverse default, and the T's could be absolutely anywhere. Bomb's going to be tapped, and they're just going to take a fight together. It's a fight they win, of course, thanks to Adam B. So, T Pistol falls in the laps of the Young Ninjas side. And FORZE now have a decision if they want to force buy back in this round. But I mean, incredible start already from Nilo, and you're seeing why we were hyping him up so much and why indeed he was in the player comparison.
Yeah, I mean, there was I wanted to make a kind of a silly joke there. You know, if someone asks me who's the best player on Young Ninjas, I just say Linus. You get that?
No.
It's both Nilo and LNZ's first name.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I know.
Yeah, you know about
Linus.
LNZ, but
Yeah,
Nilo's first name is Linus as well. So that's kind of cool.
I wonder, does that get confusing, or did they just call him Nilo?
Well, probably they call him Nilo. Yeah. Imagine his nickname wasn't actually Nilo in the start. It was something like Linus, but then LNZ comes in the team. He's like, yeah, screw you, change your nickname.
Oh,
Dork.
that wasn't actually Jerry. That was Zorty to find that kill. Nice start for the scout. Nilo tries to get a refrag, but Crowd with a deagle looking super dangerous now as well. Problems begin to arise for young ninjas. They've lost 2 initial fights and 2 initial duels, but it will be Linus, it will be LNZ to try and maybe get them back into this round. He's found 1 kill already, creeps his way up connector, but sees absolutely nothing for the moment. And FORZE are happy enough to play a little bit more passive in this one. Shalfie has his hands on an AK, of course. He does have armor, but just no head armor. So the Mac 10 could be a little bit of a problem. Well, not if it doesn't get to connect on a bullet. Second player is going to be spotted, but Adam B answers back to that one. A little rebuttal from the young ninjas right now, as it is down into a 2v3, but a great position from Jerry towards Palace. Should be able to shut down any plant whatsoever. And FORZE, the rest of the members, just need to stay alive. 15 seconds. The bomb is going to make its way out. Jerry might be able to catch him on the cross. Indeed, he does. Surely that's the round done. And Adam B is just going to have to save in towards jungle. Result is close by here, and he might just try and creep his way through. He's heard him. He's spotted him. Can he get the kill, though? No.
Yeah, doesn't want to throw his life away there, right? He's still got the Deagle and the armor. There's going to be enough rifles, enough money, not really worth the risk. You can let Adam B hold on to that AK, but man, it didn't take long before Young Ninjas realized that they were playing a CAS team on Mirage, did it? I mean, you might as well be playing against the Eagles for 30 rounds. You still could be losing the map, right? It's just the pistols, the scout, the individual ceiling on those CAS teams is absolutely crazy. And oh, is that a failed window smoke?
I think so.
I think it is. Yeah, Zorte decides not to stick around for any longer, but it's still a failed piece of utility. Maybe they're aware of it though. We can see that they're not peeking on the back of it. So maybe whoever threw the smoke was like, okay guys, I might have missed my lineup, so we can chill for a bit.
FORZE and the Eagles, man. I might have to wait. I have a funny little story, but I might have to wait. Actually, you know what? Why not? We've a little bit of time.
Yeah, go for it.
One of the UK teams. Well, actually, I think it was when Adam 9130 was on GamerLegion. They were actually scrimming against FORZE, and I think it was Exapower bought back when he was playing for FORZE, bought a Deagle in the pistol round and peaked ramp on the T side and instantly killed Adam. And he was like, you know, are these guys even taking this game serious? Because usually you wouldn't see a Deagle bought in the pistol round.
Oh, I think you've told me that story. That was a long time ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, he was absolutely fuming, much like FORZE might be right now, if this round doesn't go their way. We kind of glossed over it a little bit. My little anecdote has now left maybe Young Ninjas in a position to regain the lead here, and they're gonna clip the net a little bit. They found the gap. It's up towards B. They have upgraded a few players onto a few rifles. I mean, they've got a FAMAS, they've got an AK, and now FORZE have a problem.
Yep. Oh, now they have a couple problems. They got 99 problems, but winning the round ain't one. As staying alive would be one of them. Adam B with a lovely headshot. What a clinic execution. Clean shot onto Shelfie. Doesn't let him save. What a response from the Young Ninjas, man. I mean, especially when you're playing a game like that. You know, you're playing a FORZE side that's on a 3-game winning streak. I know that Young Ninjas are on a 4-game winning streak, and actually they did really impress by taking down Apeks 2-0. That was in the Elise Invitational the other day. Well, I say the other day, it was like a week ago, but still taking down Apeks 2-0, which, you know, Apeks have been looking quite solid. They made it into the RMR as well as FORZE. But, you know, Young Ninjas, they've been getting some impressive results in the Tier 2 space, taking down teams like EYEBALLERS, Apeks, Into the Breach, and Gentium. Obviously, they did qualify for the missed games LAN tournament in Norway. That's going to be taking place in April, I believe, which is big for them. You know, as we play are not around anymore, well, for the time being, they're not around at least. You got to be qualifying for those academy tournaments. They did manage to do so. Things are looking good for them. And especially in a game like that, you don't want to be letting FORZE off the hook early on with a cheeky FORZE by victory that they're going to be able to convert on the back on. You want to keep them on their toes. And so far, you've been able to do that, but you're up against Result towards the B apartments if you're Maxter. You don't want to be giving away a rifle for free. They're just playing the slow default for now.
LNC force being heard towards under from Shafi, who just breaks the ladder. Just to maybe scare Young Ninjas a little bit. It's going to be a B split here, and well, FORZE are going to have 3 players and then Crad in towards window to try and deal with it. The only player that's really far away is going to be Jerry. Crad's going to be spotted out here for the moment. He needs to stay alive for the minute, as now Result goes down with only the Deagle sortie on the back side with the M4, makes it work, but only for 1. Player spotted towards Chair, as Crad is terrified somebody might be peering over the top of ladder for him. But they're going to go look towards LNZ, try and take him out of this Delpan position, and Jerry thinks he's already behind the box. This could be a problem. He needs to make sure he doesn't overlook this angle, and he does. LNZ peeks out, finds that kill, and a second as well. NIP, or rather Young NIP, they will extend their lead, of course, and put FORZE onto an eco.
Yeah, that was... I think that was really... It was really uncomfortable as well for the player that was stuck in window because they only had a CZ. So you're like, okay, I might want to take that fight with the player towards the open, but long range sees that he doesn't really favor his chances, so he just waits for Jerry to try and close out on the distance. But yeah, it doesn't work out. What could work out for all of you guys at home is making sure that you check out Hellcase. Use our code CCT. You're gonna get free 70 cents and a 10% refill bonus. You know, upgrade your inventory. Maybe get the setup. Well, I just said setup. The combo of Shofi. Setup? Skin setup? No, you can't say that. And that's coming out of the mouth of a guy that's really into skins. Like, really into skins. Oh. Nice. That's a nice family picture. It's New Year's one. We just qualified for the RMR, and we're happy about it. Oh, Era's gonna walk straight into it. Cheese. Yeah.
No.
Gotta go back. Gotta go back. No, you don't want to go there. Master's like, I want to take a peek. I don't believe you. There's 05? No way. See, you lied to me. You liar. There's no one.
There's nobody there. I mean, if FORZE to stay alive here, make sure that the MAC-10s don't pick up any kills. That's really good. I still haven't picked up anything at all. And yeah, that's great. You've taken one of them away, but more importantly, you haven't given, you know, too much money. And speaking about money, you get up to €130 back on a deposit bonus. Of course, if you sign up to 1xBet using the code CCT, have to be 18 years of age or over, of course, and you have to gamble responsibly. Only bet with money that you can afford to lose.
Yeah, that's important.
In a round
Unfortunately,
like this,
players can't do that.
No. In a round like this, FORZE, they've put the bet on, that is this buy round, and they can't really afford to lose it if they really want to give up a massive advantage to Young NIP already.
Yeah, Result's gonna get tested any moment now. Actually, Young Ninjas decide against it. They're gonna undo the setup just for the time being. They want to show some further presence. Maybe the quick smoke towards the apartments make them think twice about it. Don't fancy your chances running through this one. You want to show some presence towards mid. Make sure that there's no aggression towards T-spawn. And then you go back and play for the same old B play. But now the difference is that you actually have Adam B and Maxter, the notorious duo of the Young Ninjas, over towards middle. Oh no, it's actually LNZ and Adam B. But yeah, you have the two of them showing some presence. And any moment now, Adam B is going to rejoin with his teammates and leave LNZ in a position where he can cut off rotations later on. And speaking about cutting off, well, Maxter is going to cut off the head of Result towards the B bomb side.
Yeah, Shalfie in a little bit of trouble here, needs some help from his teammates. Crad is close by, and actually Sorty and Shalfie, they find a kill apiece, and that just terrifies Young NIP. They're going to get out of there.
Oh, there's a gap. They can rotate back. Look at that. Jerry, he's really important. He's towards top middle. He needs to drop the bomb at 100%.
Oh, he's going to be able to lance up the dink, and actually Jerry goes down here. Massive reaction there from Nilo and a huge kill. Shafi burns a little bit before he peeks out, might line up two, but only comes away with one. Nilo's still super low, so Crad, if the spam is going to be perfect, he'll be able to find the kill, but Nilo once again, he's going to find a double. Eventually he's going to fall to Shalfi, and it's down to LNZ, but he knows exactly where the last remaining Force player goes, and he has missed the timing. Oh my, that is a problem. Shalfi wins it by default after dropping the bomb and just staying alive.
Oh, that was such a good play from Nilo as well, right? That was so intelligent. He knew that he was low HP. He couldn't plant fully for short. He had to plant behind triple, and then he realizes, oh, wait, I'm low HP. If I get spammed down, we probably lose the round. So I might take my chances, tapping the bomb, and then swinging and going for the fight. He's probably not going to be ready for it. He's going to think that I'll stick it because of the low time on the clock, and that's exactly what the Forza player thought there. So Nilo still gets the kill, but gets dropped by Shofi. That was a great round from him. You want him to be stepping up in rounds like that. Money's still not great for the CT side after this round, though. Losing so many members, surviving with just one alive is still gonna keep them on their toes. As we did say earlier, when it comes down to that economy, Zorti not quite able to have the AVP yet on Mirage as well. As much as you can delay that from the perspective of the young ninjas, the better. Ooh, Jofi going for a quick peek. Not able to find anything. Quick HE towards the top of middle to tag down Adam B even further. But young ninjas once again getting control over middle. But this time around, it looks like more of an A play rather than a B one.
So far on the CT side, Forze haven't really been that active towards middle.
Yeah,
you know, they've kind of just given it up. They've let, you know, the young ninjas just have it and play from the sites. And to be honest, that's been a little bit of a problem. But a lot of the time, it's been because they really haven't had the money. Now, right now, SMG up close. There is going to be the execute coming in. Oh, Crad actually gets one on the fadeaway. That's absolutely massive. But right now, he's trapped in towards under. Shafi's going to help him out as Adam B low HP. Jerry needs to be careful. There's a player walking through the smoke area. Maxter, they find two quick kills. Shafi completely alone, 11 HP, and he can't really hope for that much. But 13 seconds, there isn't a whole lot of time. NIP, they need to find these kills. As a result, he's not going to be able to stop that bomb plant. He is going to swing out, but Nilo already out of the palace. And surely he's not going to be expecting them, not whatsoever. A fantastic reposition from the young ninja. 11-3 so far in this game. Nilo is having some massive impact, and it is reflected on that scoreboard.
Man, Nilo is so intelligent in those moments, and it's so scary to think about because of the way that result snaps onto the first player that's speaking from behind default, right? Imagine Nilo just staying in Palace and being too scared to go for a fight, and then he has to peek from the angle that result expects him. This is just you going into a player, walking into the crosshair of a player that's in the zone. Did you see how quick that snap was from Result? That was clean. That was sharp. But Nilo just winning the round with, as I like putting it sometimes, just won the round using his keyboard. Only that, nothing else. Great movement, great readjustment, and a great start from the young ninjas on Mirage so far. As you pointed out, Forza haven't really been trying to fight for middle too much. Again, that has a lot to do with the economy, as you mentioned, and obviously Zorte not having the AVP. He can't really afford to go for those really mobile and interesting peaks, you know, constantly changing up the position. You're going to see him go for a peek towards Palace, ram the apartments, sometimes start under, jump up short, go connector. He's constantly moving when he has that big green, but hasn't really been given the comfort of it so far. Obviously, that has all to do with just young ninjas and how effective that T side has been and not allowing him to build up the economy for it. But it's going to be a massive handicap for Force to start the game off. It's still not too late, though. We're speaking about Forza, so you can't really write them off. But for the young ninjas, the start has been great. Oh my goodness.
Oh my, they're being ripped apart by the USP. Surely not like this.
Oh.
Nilo's still in the server, and Nilo is making all the noise right now for young ninjas in all the right places. The molly comes in. Is Crad gonna burn? No, he's not. Oh, but eventually he does. He has to swing out. Era's gonna take him down. Result does a lot of damage, but Nilo's still here. Actually, it's Era to find that kill. Swings wide with a double himself. And 6-2, Young Ninjas survive a USP scare.
That was so scrappy. That's one of those rounds. You lose a couple of players, and then if you're Nilo, you just swing, and you're like, okay, I'm either gonna get the easiest multi-kill of my life, or I just get double dinked as all my teammates just did, and we just lose the round, and I'm gonna have no fault because I was left in a 2 versus 4 in an Antigua, which I'm not supposed to. But you know, they saved the day. It's all right. Nilo's on 13-3, confidence up. Rush B, yeah. They send it out.
Nilo on the entry, deals with results, shall feed through that smoke. Oh, actually not able to find the kill. But yeah, I mean, just a complete switch up of pace right now, and you're seeing the depth of Young Ninja's T side. And I mean, FORZE, they haven't had an answer for it whatsoever. This is incredible so far from the young guns of the Swedish scene.
Yeah. So clinical from Nilo. It just feels like he's winning his fights with ease, right? You just know when you're watching a player, you know when they just look like they're one level above. And that's the vibe that you're getting from Nilo so far since returning, right? Yeah. I mean, we've told his story numerous times this year, right? On different broadcasts from different tournaments. But Nilo, when you know the fact that he joined in Young Ninjas, he was one of the original, like the original 5 of the Young Ninjas project back in January of 2021. There was, I believe it was him, ZTR, Fuzi, Manon, and Sapik on that team. And then LNZ joined in just a little bit later on. ZTR had to step in the main team. But the thing is that he played really well back then. And then he had to stop playing competitive CS around August 2021. He took a year break, and he came back in September 2022. So this previous fall, because of school, from what we know. And you know, ever since coming back, he's been spectacular. He's just been really good.
Let's not forget, right now he's doing this against a team that are currently in the top 30.
Yeah, that's the thing. He's not playing against an academy team right now.
No, and he's making it look very straightforward and just like any other day. Right now, though, it is back into a 4v4. This is probably the best chance that FORZE are going to have to maybe pick up a round. They have put up a little bit of a fight towards middle in terms of Zorti opening things up towards ramp and then scoping it out. They are just applying a little bit more pressure now as well, but they need to get at least the second player over towards B. Result is completely isolated. And if Young Ninjas decide to go for an execute here, he will be smoked out, but he decides to push a little bit closer, maybe to get onto the site as the smokes do come in. Molly as well. Rotation from Shalfie. Is it going to be here in time? Result needs to stop this first player from getting out of the apartments, but Young Ninjas, they're going to go back because they've created enough space for Adam B maybe to creep his way up con.
Yeah, that's so similar to the round that they did a couple rounds ago, right? But it was LNZ that was getting into that connector position, and now they're thinking about it. They're not going to run it back towards A as they did a couple rounds ago, which is opening up a window for Adam B to get into a good position, but they need to play before him. They should know that somebody could be holding. Zorti still misses the shot, and that's going to give a chance to Adam B to even get the kill. This is massive. He shouldn't be winning that fight, and now they can play, but it's both Shofi and Result towards the back of this side. Shofi, speaking of him, has to do it all alone, but he can't. He's gonna get taken down, and now it's just Jerry in the clutch. And look at the position from Adam B towards the kitchen. Should be good enough, and it is good enough. Momentarily executed by Adam B. A2 Young Ninjas. What a great piece of CS on the T side of Mirage.
The CIS boys don't really like it when they're hit with a CIS style around, you know, down to the last 25 seconds. It was all or nothing there on that lurk, on that little bit of space that Adam B got towards connector, seen nothing towards that A site, seen nothing towards jungle. And even though Zorti, he had an idea that it was going on, he missed the first shot, gave him a chance. Adam B crept through the murder hole, and Zorti just wasn't ready, wasn't posted to hit that second shot. Young Ninjas not getting panicked either. You know, a lot of teams, when it gets down to the, you know, the last 20 seconds of the round, it's, oh, we need to go, panic stations, get onto the site, just run. And then that's when the sloppy mistakes come in. Nothing like that for Young Ninjas. Yes, they fall to the crossfire, but they're able to deal with results. Shalfie comes away with 2, but in the end, it just wasn't enough. 8-2, a massive start for Young Ninjas on their map pick, on the T side, no doubt. And FORZE, their second tactical already, because you can see they're in a spot of bother. They go for a little bit of a half buy. Next round is when I expect them to come out swinging, but these SMGs are definitely something that you need to be scared of, especially if you're LNC. Maxter tries to get both, but in the end, it's Shalfie with a double. He'll get an upgrade as well, and he'll get a lot of map control.
Ooh, that's a great pickup from Era. This is normally a fight that Zorti would win. From the top of the smoke. A lot of damage done still to both Era and Adam B in this round. And it's a 3 versus 3, as you pointed out, aggressing a little bit further. Era's actually looking for more with the AVP here, and he might get rewarded. Depends on the timing. Does he spot Krad towards the back of the bench? Doesn't see him yet. Oh, now he does. That's a great flick onto Krad. Good reaction. They still know that Shofi resides towards the B apartments, probably, and Era's actually prepared for the angle. That's a great round from the Oper. A nice triple kill from him. Around that starts with a man advantage for FORZE after the initial exchange, and is really well returned by Era, who's showing his prowess here in round number 11. And you know, that's I guess that's the good part about Era, is the fact that, you know, mechanically, I guess he's another player that we've spoken a lot about from the time in GamerLegion. Obviously a lot more experienced in terms of tier 2 level than his entire team, but well, maybe bar LNZ, who's had his fair share of tier 1. But yeah, speaking of Era, he's mechanically really gifted, has struggled with consistency, I guess, the past couple months, but you know, in some of those games, it just feels like he's a really good player to rely on mid-round when, you know, the team just needs him to hit a couple solid shots, let's put it that way. And he's done it again. It's 9-2. And as you said, there's been some problems, and I feel like this previous round for FORZE, even though, you know, it all comes down to one missed shot from Zorte, those are the rounds that hurt the most, because, you know, you had the good idea, you know, you had the right idea, you know, you had the read, you had the players towards the correct bomb side, but then Zorte just misses one shot on the back of it. You were still close, but you just don't convert, and now you're really far. And it's obviously, when we're speaking about such experienced players, this is never going to be to the back of your mind while you're in the game. Maybe after the game's over, when you're trying to emphasize on what happened in the server and figure out what went wrong. But it's surely to the back of the mind of Zorti being like, okay, this could have been a lot easier now had I hit that one shot. But let's see. They have the full buy coming up once again. Era's been on a good game. Let's see if Zorti can counteract here, because at this point, he just needs to. Someone needs to. Shofi's been trying, but it hasn't been enough from him only.
Yeah, I mean, if this one doesn't go your way, I don't know if you can really see a way back into this one for FORZE, right? I mean, there's just such a gap, such a discrepancy between the teams right now. Now, Shalfie is super aggressive right now towards top middle. There's an A being pulled. Flash is actually going to go in, and Shalfie actually only comes away with one. LNC and Maxter, they're going to answer back instantly with two.
That's painful.
That's huge right now for Young Ninjas, and it's been the same old story for FORZE. It seems like, okay, they get into a good position, they make the right call, they go for, you know, a flash peek. It's perfect. They find that opening kill, but instantly there's that fight back from Young Ninjas. You know, they're just not down and out of the round, and the trading has just been really good and really solid from the T side. Now, Jerry has had a very quiet game so far. One kill. Is going to have to try and find a few more to stop Young Ninjas. They'll make their way out towards A. Result is going to peek. Drops Maxter for the moment. And now, where are the rest of the T's coming from? Out from the ramp. Result is down. Jerry still yet to peek. Still yet to be found towards the stairs. But he's just going to be swung. And once again, there's that trading that I was talking about. Another kill. But Zorti, maybe, just maybe, has dropped the bomb and spoils it all. Nilo flashes. Oh, Zorti's going to miss it completely. He's going to be spotted. And Nilo clutches up. It's absolutely huge. That was near picture perfect. But again, we can talk about how unlucky that is. Zorti, he's scoped in, and just the arc of that flashbang, it goes over the smoke, and he just can't see it.
Man, this kid is so good at the game.
scarily good.
He just makes it look too easy. Yeah, he's not playing against Academy League level teams right now. He's playing against people that know how to play solid CS. He's playing against some damn good players. Yeah, a lot of things might not be going their way, but he's making it look so easy. That's really scary. Crowd has been left all alone towards the A-bomb side once again. FORZE could at least rebuy once again into this round, but at this point, they just don't care about the buys. They just need the rounds on the board. Adam B on the late lurk towards top mid, though, could prove to be a nuisance. 1-for-1's all right for him, and let's see how Crowd holds on rather to that A-bomb side now.
Finds the first kill, swings out onto the site. LNC's ready though. Once again, 1-for-1. Trade comes in. Oh, Era, lots of damage done to him from Shalfie. But Shalfie turns away.
No way.
No, he should have got that kill.
He was expecting a flash.
Yeah. Oh no, that is such a mistake right now in a massive moment in this round. Zorti and Result, they're going to have to try and rectify the mistakes that their teammates might have just made. Era alone towards Sandwich's Result. He is taking every single liberty right now, just clearing out all of these close angles. Era needs to be ready, but that was always going to be a free kill. He was tucked into the corner, but once again, Nilo, he answers back with a big kill. Sorry, needs to get this down into a 1v1 once again, but this time he really needs to come out on top. As Nilo creeps down the stairs, Zorti needs to be ready. Is he going to overlook this position? Scope in. Of course, Nilo knows exactly where he is. He can see the scope, and Nilo is going to creep even closer. Oh, and Zorti's not ready for that any time at all. 17-4 right now, Nilo, as he picks up 2 more kills in that round, and another round goes in favor of the Young Ninjas.
I know we can't really see the headshot percentage right now. We can just see the 17-4, but I have the feeling inside 90. Of me that most of those have been headshots.
I'd say 90. I'd say
yeah. There's been a lot of head taps so far for Nilo. A lot of haircuts. We can put it that way. He's been spectacular. Jerry's gonna try and switch it up. Missed shot from the Oper might actually give Jerry a chance, but Era manages to recover quite nicely. Holds his nerve, lands the shot. It's a half buy for FORZE, and Young Nip at this point. Well, you don't really need the Young in the name to believe that they're playing some damn good CS. I mean, you can just let it like that. Look at the scoreboard. It says NIP. It's completely justified. They're playing some real solid CS right now. Obviously, it's a lot easier to play some real solid CS when you're just killing everybody, but the fact that you're doing it against the FORZE side on Mirage, which is normally a solid map for them, it's so damn impressive. Still, let's see how they do. FORZE actually have the right read going into this round. 3 people towards the B-bomb side. One of them falls, but they still have Shofi and Zorti that are going to try and do their best there. But again, the Young Ninjas, they just slow it down. No funny business. They're going to let the player from the A-bomb side get into a comfortable position, and it's another uncomfortable timing for Zorti.
Man, this T side has layers upon layers upon layers right now, and FORZE just can't deal with it whatsoever. Once
it's like an onion.
Oh, it is horrible.
It's got layers.
It's got layers, and it's making FORZE cry. All right, yep. Man, 12-2. This is probably one of the best T sides I've seen on Mirage in a very long time. In a very, very long time. This is very impressive. And I wasn't expecting it. You know, we were talking about this before we even went live. I was saying, you know, I'd be expecting FORZE, you know, if there's any chance of a 2-0 in this game, it's in FORZE's favor. But if Young Ninjas are playing like this, man, they could easily shut this one down in the next hour or so and just get this one over and done with. Last round of the half. And, well, Zorti might be tested towards Palace here. Nilo's going to peek in, and he is human after all. He will go down, and Zorti will be thankful that he did.
Yeah, that's one of the first clean 1v1s that Nilo loses, and it's against an AVP as well. But it's a nice opening kill from Zorti, at least looking at 3 rounds in the end of that first half. Not that it would make life a lot easier. Oh, that's a great flash from Era. Sets up Maxter for a nice refrag there. Doesn't matter how quick it is. A wise man once said, you just got to get the refrag in the end of the day. You don't really care if it's late or early. As soon as you continue getting them peaks, and LNZ gets one more, Shofi's there for the recovery, but it's still a 3 versus 3, and the bomb is making its way towards the B apartments. But look at that from Adam B, walking through the connector smoke. Should get taken down by Result, and does, and that's going to leave everything up to Era and Maxter, walking straight into the crosshair of Shofi himself.
Shalfie waiting.
What?
Baxter straight out of the apartment. Shalfie once again tries to duck underneath the flashbang, and it costs him his life one more time. And he's playing it correctly. Like, you can't even fault him for it. But
Nope.
he's just getting absolutely annihilated. Now, result is going to be walking forward. Oh, no, you've missed your chance. There's the molly. Eric can drop a smoke. He stays alive. Oh, and Maxter's going to be holding close from E-Box. There's that kill. Zorty in a 1v2. Out with the op. Great shot on the first and knows exactly where Era is in that position. Spots him maybe. I'm not too sure. Still in that smoke. He's going to get close. He's going to get with that USP in it, but he's absolutely everywhere. He's all over the place. Era just needs to buy time, and he'll do more than that. He'll win the round. 13-2. Young NIP stun FORZE on this first map.
Looks like a map that FORZE want to get over with as quickly as possible, Jack, after the first 15 rounds here on Mirage. Surely an outcome that we weren't ready for. Surely an outcome that 1xBet weren't ready for either. Taking a look at the odds. Favoring the young ninjas, obviously, after what we've seen for the first 15 rounds. But yeah, man. Wow, what a game. Pissed around. Starting for the FORZE boys, and you gotta feel like unless this one goes in their favor, this one could be over in a couple minutes just. And if that makes life easier, well, if it makes life easier than that, if it could get easier than that for the young ninjas, they have a fourth player that's thinking about rotating back towards that B-bomb side any moment now. But FORZE are gonna delay just a little bit and let Zorty get closer towards short.
Gary is going to open this round up with a kill at least. So, sorry, I believe a step there. So, I would assume Nilo realizes what's going on. Young ninjas are going to try and get into position to try and deal with this. Nilo's picked up a kill. Adam B. Oh, he's actually going to find a double. Crad, though, out of the apartments. Battles back with two himself. And now it is down to Era. FORZE, they needed this pistol. They needed to delve deep into the strat book to get this one back. And now Era, smooth jump towards short. He's going to have to smoothly clutch up this 1 versus 2. But he's got plenty of time right now. He just needs to find the first kill. And Crad has given him chances. He's given him opportunities. Jerry, he's going to be spotted next. And they're going to double peek him. Jerry's going to take him down. FORZE are going to survive at least. If they don't win that pistol, this game is already over. But young ninjas, they do fall short in that regard. But it's one of the first times that we can say that they've fallen short all game.
By the way, I like the approach from Jerry and Crad there in the 2 versus 1. You'd see a lot of teams losing 2 and 13 be like, oh no, now we gotta stay alive, we gotta hide, we gotta play for time. No, they just go, you know what? Let's just beat this guy. Let's just delete him. We need confidence. We need to be playing like we don't care. At this point, you're just throwing hand makers if you're FORZE, right? You know it's a long road ahead of you, but you know you're a team capable of coming back into even games like that. I know it's kind of silly to say that on the 13-3, but it's you know, FORZE are trying to take it step by step. I guess step 1 was win the pistol. Step 2 is gonna be win 6 buy rounds, and then we might be in touching distance. It's crazy to even say that, but yeah, long day in the office. Thankfully for them, this is not their map pick, so I guess you can try and at least end on a high note here, even if we assume that this map is already over by the laws of all that's holy. If you get a couple rounds on the board and make it somewhat competitive, you might be going into that overpass with some better movement.
Yeah, try and make this as close as possible. I mean, it is just a few mistakes away, but if there was ever a team that could play like perfect Counter-Strike on this T side on this map, probably FORZE. Now, not saying it's going to happen, but...
Yeah, I thought you were going to say the bin men.
The bin men? Oh,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Epic Land coming up, the bin men, they're ready.
Man, I feel really sad because I'm getting into UK CS culture a little bit around you.
Yes,
and yeah,
yes.
I like the fact that I find the bin man funny, and like I find what I said funny is just worrying. But yeah, you gotta play perfect CS, as you said, if you want to come back into this. But now is the first buy round for Nip, and Forza are gonna keep it simple, keep it clean, nice AXZ. Let's see if it works out.
Yeah, Jerry on the entry initially. Adam B is actually going to burn there. He tried to get a smoke, but it just didn't extinguish it. LNZ, did he spot the player towards jungle? There's a smoke towards top con, and he's actually taking damage from it. So Jerry's definitely heard him, knows that there is one player there. But air through a smoke, a little bit of a gap. Sees underneath it, spots the feet result, and is going to take his head off. Jerry jumps across. LNZ trying to use his gap nicely, but not going to happen. Crad with a massive headshot there onto Nilo. And if you can take him out of the round, the chances begin to slim a little bit for young ninjas. And Crad is going to be walking behind the CTs here. Maxter, oh, he's not ready for him up that close. Crad will find 2 more kills. And surely LNZ has to save the IGL. Is going to try and get out with his life. There he is. Maybe about to risk it all jumping down. But
yeah,
not going to happen. So LNZ will at least bring an M4 forward, as FORZE now make this a little bit better on the scoreboard.
Yeah, you know what? That was actually quite clean from the T side. Again, it's a nice simple round. A lot of util involved. You just burn the player playing underneath the palace area. Then Jerry gets a bit aggressive towards the smoke underneath stairs, towards the jungle smoke. He fades it, gets flashed through. They take jungle control, re-smoke top connector. Just great fundamentals on an A execute. You don't want to be left with just the bomb side. You want to take some extra map control in a scenario like that, just to make sure that you're a little bit more comfortable going into the post plan. And this is exactly what they went for. Works out great. Back to nothing for the young ninjas. Well, I say nothing. There still is one M4 in the hands of LNZ, and he's probably one of the people that you don't want to be underestimating in a round like that. That's why.
Ouch. The only way I can describe that one. Shalfie on the receiving end.
That ouch loaded quite quickly. It was like playing with 20 loss. You know, you kill somebody and then you hear the AK shooting like 5 seconds after the fact.
See, that's what you have to factor in, is that my brain works on like 20% loss. So, like, just in general.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Fine.
Well, let's hope that this won't be a loss of a round for FORZE. That would be a desperate way to give up 14. Adam B is going to be completely demolished out of the side. Look at that flash in. Oh, Era, lots of damage done. LNZ now putting up a fight with the M4 as well. And actually, Aditi is going to run through jungle here. Oh, Jerry and Crad. This is an incredible call.
Yep, they're going to be
jungle, and they'll just go B. Oh my, what a reaction. But it has been spotted now by the CTs. They found another kill. They found an op that Nilo is going to pick up and be wielding in the round. Let's not forget, there is no kits in play for young ninjas. So if they're going to go, they have to go quickly. But in a 3v2, I think you have to risk it.
Yeah, surely. You're going to have the buy in the next one. You know you're in a 3 versus 2. Crad has been tagged down low as well, right? Oh, Jerry's getting tagged down through the bench. Oh, that's quite dangerous. He's going to run away. Second player, still not compromised, and Crad does manage to strike it. Maybe this is when they realize that the round has been lost. LNZ can still try and do some damage, but the time's running low. They have no kit to work with. The AVP already committed to the save, and LNZ is going to be the only one still looking for kills. Actually, it's Nilo to collect this one. And you know what? When you think about the investment going into this round, it's just one hero M4 for LNZ, and then the rest are on pistols. It's actually a damn good round for the young ninjas. They get away with 4 kills. They hold on to the M4. They hold on to the AVP. Is going to make life a lot easier going into this buy round for you. And you make FORZE crumble just a bit. Well, they didn't crumble, but they trembled. Shivers. They felt them.
Yeah, definitely shivers, man. Definitely. You know, this is still scary times for FORZE.
I don't know why I had the song play in my mind when I said the word.
Which song?
Shivers.
don't think I know it.
What? No,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sing it if you're trying to fool me to do that.
No, I'm not an evil mastermind, Ted. Absolutely not. Well, let's see what the mastermind of Jerry has conjured up in this round. He's very low on HP, and Nilo is going to spot the gun of Crad. Initial kill falls in favor of the young ninjas, and FORZE have to convert this 4v5 really, or else the young ninjas surely will be able to continue to battle back and push their way onto this second map with a map advantage in their back pocket.
Yeah, we already had one big upset from an Academy team earlier on. It was Spirit Academy taking down Big. And for all of you at home, we're not talking about Big Academy. We're talking about Big. Like the big deal. Taking them down 2-0, eliminating them from the tournament. Quite a surprise. Let's see if it happens a second time. Adam B drops another one onto Jerry. Shelfie has been hurt, I'm pretty sure, and actually jumps across LNZ here.
Yeah, Nilo has him covered though. Nilo's just going to keep his eye. Shelfie comes out with a pre-fire, and that might be good enough to find the kill. Now looking towards Max there. Oh, but that's the perfect bait. Here's the reload. Max is going to be holding. Shelfie goes for the peak. Result now on 1 HP. Has found that kill, but with 15 seconds, the bomb dropped out towards Connector. No chance in the round. It's 14-6. Result will hang on, but he won't be getting an injection of cash. At least he has enough in the bank to purchase utility and then drop over an AK as well to the likes of Jerry. And well, this one continues to go closer. I believe Shelfie has enough to buy, if my maths is correct, to buy an AK. Never mind, he's thrown an op over to Sorty, so he's going to be on a little bit of a lesser weapon.
Unless...
Oh, no, wait, actually, my maths is just completely wrong.
Zorti had enough money to drop him over an AK and then play a glass cannon.
Yeah, that's where I went wrong, the glass cannon.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting the glass cannon, but
you never forget about the glass cannon.
You have to take a risk here. He's got a great mid spawn. Oh, but he's not able to connect. Smoke now blossoms. Era is alive, but Crad is not. Adam B falls away Connector with that advantage. And Sorty, is he going to be spotted now towards Delpan? The Molly is going to go in. He has been spotted. Molly burns him to a crisp. And young ninjas, they are surely onto a round, surely onto a winner here. Unless Jerry has something to say about it. The jump towards the stairs puts Adam B and LNZ in the grave. Milo now has to react, has to come back with a rebuttal, but it's not happening just yet. The bomb's down, 3 versus 3 post-plant scenario, and there's a player on a big flank, and that's going to be Jerry once again to try and have some more impact.
Yeah, the captain going for the last second round winning play here. And young ninjas are actually taking their time. Now, this Molotov is going to force Shelfie into the open and actually right into the crosshair of Maxter, who gets that kill. But look at Jerry. He's the main man. He needs a multi-kill. Not 1, not 2, maybe all 3 in that scenario. And there's the shots. Gets one onto Nilo, but he can't see a second, and result's been lost. He needs to find more. And Maxter, he's going to be the one man left. He's sticking the deep deuce. No kid as well, and Jerry gets it through the smoke on the spam. Jerry aces it to keep FORZE alive on Mirage.
Captain Fantastic, the man that has been in this team for forever and a day, just comes up huge in that round. And yeah, you're going to call it tactical boss. Man. FORZE will be thanking, of course, their IGL after an incredible round. An incredible call by him to just go all the way back, go around the world and try and save the day. Because if he stays in the position, you know, that maybe young ninjas thought about, that could have been a different round completely. It was the element of surprise, still managing to find a second kill. Era had an opportunity to take him down. He beats the op in that duel, and then the spray is just enough to take down the diffuser. I believe it was Adam B or Maxter. Maxter, excuse me.
They are twins, so it's fine.
What?
Well, they're not legitimate twins, but it's like they're in a package, you know?
Oh, okay, yeah.
The two of them always playing together. T side, CT side, doesn't matter. They came in the team in the same time. They're probably gonna leave one day and go into the main team in the same time. So it's
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, how do I not know that vital piece of information that they're actually twins?
No, they're not. They're not actually related, from what I know. Well, maybe by some sorcery, but nothing legitimate. Like, you know, they like a witch just went and it was like, you two are never gonna play a single game of CS
without each other.
without each other. Always cursed to be together in the server.
Bound
On
for
the
life.
same team as well. Bound for life. Max turn Adam B. Bonnie and Clyde. And it's up to them to decide which one is which.
Well, the dynamic duo, will they be able to pull Young Ninjas over the line in around like this? 50 seconds, lots of map control taken. Molly in towards ladder. Nilo dinks up Crad, but if you trade headshots with an AK, you're going to come out worse for wear. Adam B pushes towards Palace. He finds that kill. And now things get a little bit desperate for FORZE. Jerry, though, answers back with a kill. Shalfie's been heard. Oh, LNZ close by. Opposor is peeking into him. And Era, he's actually connected. Helped out his teammate. But the bomb will go down towards B. Perfect post plan set up here for FORZE. And Young Ninjas, they have a decision if they want to go for this or not. I mean, they've done lots of damage to Crad and Zorty, so that might entice them to go for it. But time is not their friend right now. And neither is that B-bomb site. It's 14-8. FORZE continue to bring it back. And Young Ninjas now, this will really show and really separate the men from the boys if they are able to hold their nerve and get this one over the line before FORZE make this game really interesting.
Yeah, I guess that decision to go for the save here is like, okay, we realize that we still have a massive lead to work with, even if it is a 2 versus 3 that we might have a chance to win, though. We don't want to be throwing this lead away, right? We want to make sure it's more of a comfortable run. Even if FORZE started posting more rounds on the board and, you know, get closer and closer and closer, we realize that at this point, if our money gets totally screwed up, we could be just giving away 3 rounds. And this tactical timeout is a really good sign for FORZE, I feel like. This is a tactical timeout that shows, okay, Young Ninjas are not panicked yet. They're not feeling the pressure yet, but they know this map hasn't been won yet. Again, right? So it's, yeah, I guess it's a nice time for them to have a wake-up call, just have a bit of a talk. It's still nothing to be worried about. It's just been a solid start to a T side for FORZE, but I guess this is worrying as well, the fact that, you know, bar the clutch from Jerry, the remaining of the rounds have felt quite comfortable for the T side. So, yeah, you're still not in the danger zone, but you know there is a possibility of you getting there, and you don't really want to let that to happen. So now you want to counteract as quickly as possible. There's going to be another buy coming up for the CT side. AVP for Era. And the rifles for the rest of the gang. Actually, a double tack. It's interesting. Let's see what they come up with. Crowd has been really solid so far, to be fair, on the T side. I think he was quite quiet in the end of the first half. I'm not sure what he ended on, but it wasn't anything spectacular. And so far on the T side, he's been providing some great opening kills, some great mid-round multi kills as well. He's been trying to show us his best Nilo impression. Well, maybe not Nilo, maybe LNZ. Yeah, we'll put it that way.
Oh, this is a problem.
That's the bomb.
Sorry, it's the bomb
That's
here.
the bomb.
Oh, no. Oh, no. You've left the bomb on the last player, and it doesn't even matter. The players on B, they've been ripped apart. Surely this round is going to go in favor of Young Ninjas, because Result and Shalfie, they're going to have to answer back. Adam B even has an op, and they know about it. They know he has an op, just staring down the apartments. What can Result really hope for in this round? He will smoke deep, but he still doesn't have a chance to get the bomb back. Result, big kill onto Nilo. They still don't know about LNZ, but it gets a little bit easier now in a 2 versus 2, and they don't really have to rush it. I mean, they can wait out the smokes. They can maybe try and play it together, find out where this player in market is, but they'll have to get their hands on the bomb and the final boss that is Adam B.
Yeah, that's such a confusing round. And look at the patience from LNZ, catches the timing, and now even though Shofi knows where both players are, he has to go for it eventually. Timing's going to be everything, though. He might get a free kill onto Adam B, and indeed he will, if he peeks, that is. He doesn't realize it, but he's missing out on a huge timing, and oh, he's missed it completely. He's at Adam B slip, but still might have the kill in the back. There's the first one. He knows where the second was, but with 20 seconds, do you really risk running it back towards A? The answer is no. And LNZ's going to hear the steps. He's going to get posted on the angle. He can just hide. Just let him cross down. Let him feel like he's safe. Not really letting him step on the bomb side. LNZ finishes it off. It's 15 for the good, and it's 15 for the Young Ninjas. Second consecutive map and match points. Well, not match points, but map points.
Yeah, the match's not done just yet.
Yeah, got a bit ahead of myself.
Yeah, you're trying to write FORZE off completely.
Yeah, I'm just in that state of mind right now.
Well, so far this game, I mean, bar the resurgence from FORZE, it has been men against boys, but who would have guessed it's the boys that are absolutely battering the men here. As right now, the young guns of young NIP 15-8 up, and they just need to convert a few more rounds. But a great start from FORZE here as they open it up with 2 quick kills. Dino with a double back and might even find a third, but no, Shalfie through the smoke connects. As the bomb will be planted, we're down to a 2v2, but the low HP from Shalfie. Jerry gets aggressive, he falls, and it is down to just the young man. He's already picked up 2 kills, but with 10 HP, repositions towards the palace. And now Era is just going to make his way forward. Is he going to go palace or ramp here? If he clears out ramp, surely he knows that palace is the only place he can be. There's kits, there's smokes, there's mollies, there's everything you could want in this scenario, and you've got Maxter as well. He finds the kill, defuse pulled off. It's a 16-8, and it's Young Ninja taking their map picks.
Yeah, it's been nothing but impressive from the Young Ninjas side as well, Jack, right? I mean, we expected them to be able to put up a fight, especially if the individual showed up in a game like that. We expected something big from Nilo, from LNZ maybe, but we never expected them to make this Mirage seem like a walk in the park. And to be fair, to think about how much actually FORZE had to do to get only up to 8 rounds, it was such a one-sided map from the size of the Young Ninjas. Obviously, we did speak about that manner of mental game and maybe psychology going into that second map, and the fact that FORZE were able to slow it down a little bit and win a couple rounds on the T side and not really just get bish bash boshed on map number 1 completely, something like a 16-2 or a 16-3, and then having to come back with Overpass. So I guess maybe Krat coming to life a little bit, Jerry having a couple good rounds, Shelfie overall being quite solid could be something to go off, but you still need to find a way to counteract what Young Ninjas have been doing when it goes to Overpass. And those are the good news for FORZE. They have at least one more map to play here, but they need to win it in order to force a decider. But obviously we're going to find out if they're going to be able to do that after the break.
Very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move. One push. One touch. One love. One click. One XBet.
Win up to $1 million with your CSGO esports predictions. Simply guess the kill scores of the 10 players in a CSGO match. The more you guess correctly, the bigger the prize. You'll need at least 2 correct predictions to win a prize. Guess all 10 correct and win $1 million. Experience the exciting new way to add a little prosperity when watching esports tournaments. And register now to receive a free entry ticket upon sign-up. Predict kills, win millions, prosper.
Are you sick of just opening?
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge.
Well, we are back. Welcome back. As we nearly missed the pistol, Dad.
Yeah, man. And that's a shame. You know I love pistols.
Yeah, we do. And especially when there's 2 of them. I mean, Maxter and Nilo, they've got 2 because they're greedy. Very, very greedy guys. And well, Nilo's putting them to good use early on towards Connector as the B play does come in. Shalfie, nice headshot onto Maxter. He won't get to use his Yi has, not whatsoever. Flash completely blinds LNC, who is only blind for a moment, eventually comes to his senses and takes Zorty down with him, as now the CTs just begin to prosper in this pistol. Crad left, creeping out. Con might get the better of Era, but he's just off the mark, a whisker away from finding the head of the young NIP Opper, as the young NIP boys do connect on the pistol on Overpass on this CT side.
Yeah, it's a good start for all of you fellas that are just joining in, maybe for map number 2. You know, map number 1 went in favor of the Young Ninjas. It was a Mirage game, a 16-8 as well, and it was quite the one-sided affair we had. Well, I think it's safe to say we got treated to a really good Nilo game. He ended on 24 and 14, and that was 17 and 6 on the T side only. So yeah, it was great effort. Actually, Shofi did post 22 kills in the end. You know, did his best, but Forza couldn't really stay competitive for the biggest part of that Mirage. Well, not up until the second half, where they did manage to get a couple rounds on the T side, but CT side was a bit worse for wear. Now, starting on the offense, though, they're going to be hoping for a better outcome here on Overpass. Otherwise, they're going to get eliminated straight away, and we're going to see another 2-0. We're yet to actually see a 3-mapper in the round of 16. That's something that we're saying for the 3rd time today, maybe, but it's been absolutely wild. GODSENT taking down EYEBALLERS 2-0, GamerLegion 2-0 Tricked, Illuminar 2-0 HAVU, Apeks 2-0 Coalesce, Spirit Academy 2-0 Big, Falcons 2-0 BLUEJAYS, and then iNation did 2-0 Sprout in our previous game. So now the Young Ninjas will be trying to hop on the hype train of the 2-0s and do the same to the Forza boys. But let's see what they have to say about it, as now they have the AKs in hand.
You'd hope it is anyway. Oh, Nilo's just going to be spotted. Result, of course, on a passive angle towards Connector. He was going to see the head of Nilo, and he's going to take it off. So hasn't started well the first gun round for Young Ninjas. And actually, the T's are now going to creep their way up long. Is there going to be a chance for Eric to find a kill? Yes, there is, but not an opportunity for a second.
Yeah, it's a good start to the round for the T side. Really well counteracting with the aggression towards A. But the setup is still alright for the young ninjas. Even with that kill from Shofi, that might actually lure them to go for the B play even further. And Master is gonna peek. They still haven't spotted the second player. This is really dangerous. LNZ's found another. And now it's so tough for the T's to make a decision. They're actually gonna hold on and they're gonna commit to that B play still. I know young ninjas, they might not be ready for that. LNZ, he hasn't spotted them cross. They have no idea there towards the back of the side. Question is, will they make some noise getting onto the bomb side?
This is so nice from LNZ. He's flanking Monster already.
Yep.
You can see Zorty's kind of thinking about it, but then again, not really. Max are in towards short. They'll clear the bomb site. Where did they go? Did they rotate to A? I'm not too sure. Now they will maybe push in and have a look towards B. Maxter. Oh, we didn't hear the bomb plant. And now LNZ in here as well. Surely Zorty might be aware that there could be a second player. Now he's definitely aware. Bell rang taken down, and it's just Crad completely alone as LNZ holds, thinking that the Russian gunner is in towards the water, but no, he's out towards Monster, holding right now LNZ as he walks out, low HP, and that's no problem for Crad whatsoever. Of course, LNZ was tagged down very low initially. 2 kills is where he stops, and 2 rounds is where Young Ninja stop for the moment.
Yeah, unfortunately for Maxter there, right? I mean, unfortunately for him, he gets taken down. Otherwise, if he just gets tagged down and stays alive, that's going to be a perfect bait for LNZ to get the kill, and then they can play the 2 versus 1. It was really intelligent play from FORZE as well. I like the fact that they don't panic and start just running guns blazing towards the A-bomb side, just going for the Hail Mary, because in that scenario, there could be a young Ninjas player pretty much towards every single angle. So, yeah, they keep their cool, calm, and collected form and shape. And it's Crad once again in the clutch. He knew that he was up against the low HP player, so he could have just stuck to the off angle. Just needed 1 shot to connect, and that would have been enough. Buiko coming in for the CT side, though, because of how close the second round was in terms of the damage. So now they gotta give away another one. Far better start here from FORZE, we must say. Didn't really take that long. Yeah, absolutely has to be. Especially after the previous overpass that they did play, right? Because it was against 500. I believe it was the closed qualifier for the RMR again. And even though they did win the series and actually qualified by beating 500 in that game, the overpass was the map that they did lose. It was a 9-16 against the Bulgarian side, and you know, Zorte had an alright game. Risaud had a really solid game, but Shalfi was missing. Brad was absolutely missing. He was on 7-20. Obviously, the start here has been a lot better for him, but you need those guys to be on point in the server if you want to take down a team on this map, especially when the team has just demolished you on map number 1. Might be tough from a mental point of view. Still, though, it's a good start. 2 rounds on the T side early on. Let's see if they're going to be able to make it 3 against the Fool by returning from the Young Ninjas with the AVP in the hands of Arrow as well, who had a couple really solid rounds on map 1.
A gap for Crad to get past that Molotov. Didn't even need to extinguish it with the Molly, or with a smoke, excuse me. Doesn't land flush, which could be a little bit of a problem. Flash in towards short and be completely blind, and it's a nice kill from Chalfie. Refrag comes in there from Era, which is something, of course, that we highlighted on map 1, was that the trading of Young Ninjas, especially on the T side, the spacing seemed to work out in nearly every single engagement that they found themselves in. Nilo towards front toilets. Result is going to be ready for him, and needed to be. Era rotates up, very mobile with this AWP. That could be something that is overlooked completely, and it will be, but out towards long. Crad comes, and Era can't react onto it. His teammate was no use. He was behind the smoke. LNZ could not do anything, and Era left out to dry. But this round hasn't run dry just yet for Young Ninjas, as they might get back into the flow of things. LNZ looking out towards long. Master goes down, and LNZ follows suit. Falls away. It's 3-2, and for the first time, we are going to see FORZE take the lead on Overpass.
Yeah, could have went south there a little bit because of the player that actually picked up the first fight with the rifle towards the left-hand side, because the Oper then gets the information, okay, there's one out, I killed him. He might overlook the fact that there was one just holding for him and his cross only towards the back of Dice's. But still, Zorti does manage to land the shot, so it's all good for the Forza side. Fairly clean round as well, right? I mean, it's really nice to see them being able to dispatch of Nilo early on so easily in a gun round. You don't want him to get onto another good start here in the series, especially after what he did to you on Mirage. In the meantime, it's another clean anti-eco coming up for the T side, losing only one member, that member being Shofi after he picked up a double. It's a 4-2 lead. Another buy coming up for the Young Ninjas. Haven't really seen too much aggression yet from that CT side. Maybe this is when it changes. We did see some kind of an attempt in the first buy round. Second one was a lot more stoic. Well, it was a lot quicker from Forza, I guess. So even if Young Ninjas wanted to go for something aggressive, there wasn't enough time. But now we get to see Young Nip running again with the AVP as well.
I suppose, you know, is, of course, Overpass in general, you know, FORZE, the amount of times that they've played it over the last few months, or rather 3 months, I believe, is 24 times compared to Young Ninjas, who have only played on it 5 times. So, you know, FORZE are very tried and tested on this map over the last while, especially with the new additions of Result and Crad. Oh, LNZ, that's a fantastic double. The flash came in towards long. The Opper right now actually finds that kill. LNZ blinded himself, so that was a little bit of a problem, but they do know that the bomb is towards long at least. That has pulled the rotation of Adam B just for the moment, but NIP still stay posed and ready to deal with any threats towards this B site with the Maxer and Era set up towards Monster, Pillar, and Wood. 40 seconds for FORZE really to make a decision where they want to go, but considering how deep the bomb is towards that A site, you would assume that FORZE are going to rotate up and attempt to hit that part of the map.
Yeah, and at this point, leaving Adam B all alone, he's just going to be jump spotting, spots the bomb, spots the AVP, and with 20 seconds, surely they rotate somebody back to support him. He needs to reposition himself to a position where he can get away with 1 kill and then delay for as long as possible for the rotations to arrive.
Needs to be careful though, he's out in no man's land right now. The flashes are going to come over. He's actually not going to be blinded, but still can't take advantage. The kill goes in favor of FORZE. The bomb site falls into their favor as well, and it is going to be Young Ninjas falling away from this one. They accept defeat, whether they like it or not. Need to keep these guns up for the next round. It's 5-2, and so far we are being very much treated to some T-side prowess on both teams' map picks.
Yeah, haven't really been given a lot of chances to the Young Ninjas as well, right? I mean, the early exchange goes in their way. They have a 3 versus 3, which is, you know, equal numbers, but it's always going to favor the T side. They slow it down. They see there's no aggression coming up towards A, and most of the time a team with Gambo be in that kind of a scenario, especially when you see the jump spotting player, you know that he's probably going to be alone, so you just run it. You run him down. Yeah, Maxter doesn't really put himself in the best position maybe, but truth is there was a lot of Molotovs, a lot of smokes that made it really uncomfortable, and you could see that he realized that he needs to get a kill. So in that scenario, it's either him getting a kill and his teammates being able to support him, or him falling back and maybe them not really having a fair chance going into the retake. So he felt like he had to make something happen, and that's why you see him pick up that fight still, even though it was so unfavorable for him. Still not a terrible round in this one for the Young Ninjas. They still have the AVP in the hands of Era, a couple of upgraded pistols, can try and be dangerous. Era's going for an early peek towards the long area, but I believe Krad is holding for that from the fountain. It's a tough angle to clear if Era decides to go that deep with the AVP, and it doesn't really matter. He's going to get flashed off the angle. Decides not to announce his presence. Intelligently enough, you don't want to let them know where the AVP resides. You want to make sure you catch them by surprise. Ooh. Missed chance. That was his shot. Had to land it, doesn't manage to, and now he needs to run for the hills. Needs to reposition himself as quickly as possible towards the B-bomb side. And look at the reaction from the FORZE boys. They're just gonna run out of Monster.
the smoke actually put up here, that's a nice little bit of a counter measurement taken by the CTs, but they need to put it to good use. And Adam B has already fallen. Maxter still waiting the other side of the smoke, yet to be found out just yet. Eventually, he's going to try and strike, but only good for just one. The op still yet to find any impact at all because it is too far away, of course. And Era surely is going to be making his way back up to this A site and trying to save LNZ. Might as well try and take a rifle or two away, maybe pick up a kill, maybe get a little bit of an upgrade. But as far as the round, it's already over. It's 6-2 now. FORZE on this T side really flexing their muscles here, and the young ninjas just haven't really had too many opportunities to battle back, and now they kind of understand what it's like and how FORZE felt on map 1.
Yeah, and it even gives you a bit of a different vibe as well, right? Because you don't see a single player just dominating like Nilo did, right? Every single round that starts getting a bit closer, being saved up by a single member's multi-kill or a sick clutch or whatever. It's just a really well-structured T side of FORZE. It's just the most typical CAS thing that you're going to see on the T side, especially on an Overpass one. Really methodical, really slow, not a lot of risks, not a lot of chances given away to the opposing side. Just being really annoying to play against. Makes you feel like you're taking some of the good decisions, but you're still not even close to winning a round. Or making some of the good decisions, rather. Well, let's see if something changes in this buy. You gotta feel like they need some more success on the CT side if they want to be competitive to try and contest that 2-0 victory in the end of the day. Back to the B-bomb side, FORZE go, and actually back into the stack they go.
Oh, they're going to kiss in the smoke.
Yep.
Oh,
2 for 2.
Maxter, he's coming away with 2, nearly a third, but Result stops him. And now there's still 3 more players on this B side, so Young Ninjas, they have a fantastic read on this, and they might just have a round. Result, he's going to swing into the site, which definitely isn't advised, not when there's 3 people there ready and waiting. And Zordi finds himself in a clutch situation for the first time on this map. He got it close on Mirage a few times, but this time he really needs to make it work if he wants to continue to push FORZE back in this game. And he's going to push up towards A, where there's nobody right now for the Young Ninjas. So he will get the bomb down. He'll get a pretty decent post plant, but kit's still in play for Young Ninjas.
Yeah, and he's going to get a lot of space to work with. Obviously, understandingly enough, Nilo and Era are going to play this one together, not really going to separate. You don't want to give him 1v1s. The tough part about them is going to be if he manages to get a bomb plant and get into a comfortable position with the AVP, where it's hard to refrag him. Good thing they have going on for them. 2 smokes going into the retake, flash, HE as well, the fuse kit for Nilo. So let's say Zordi decides to play towards the toilets, which he does. It would be a lot easier from their perspective to isolate him if they're able to spot him without losing a member first.
All they need to do is smoke on the bomb and then smoke in front of the bomb as well. And actually, they smoke on the bomb in front toilets. Oh, there's a gap. That's a problem. Now the defuse is going to be tapped. Now it's going to be stuck. So he goes for the peek, but Arrow is going to be ready for it. Entice him to go for a peek through that gap, and Arrow is just going to be holding. That's a nice retake from Young Ninjas, and you did fear the worst there from Zori. You know, you called it perfectly, Ted. You know, that's it. It just became pretty much unwinnable. But he is gambling that they don't have the smokes. You know, if they don't have the smokes there, that is the correct play. It is the correct call. It's just a little bit unfortunate. Of course, what isn't unfortunate is there is €130 up to a deposit bonus on 1xbet. Of course, if you sign up using code CCT, make sure to gamble responsibly. You have to be 18 years of age or over to take part in that. Because right now, a little bit aggressive from Young Ninjas in towards short. You can see Era posted on an angle with the AWP, but he's going to be found out. Are they expecting the second result? Is he knew the setup and he knew how to deal with it.
Absolutely nailed him. And that's just great awareness from the FORZE boys, right? Well, it's not even, it's just really, really good awareness, I'd say. You just see one player like, okay, that clicks. I know that setup. I'm just going to clear it up. Yep, there's a second kill. Easy. Nothing that they could do about it. And that was the same story. They get the opening picks, they slow it down, and they're going to wait and let NIP walk into them or make a wrong call. Obviously, there's 2 options right now for the Ninjas. You either aggress somewhere or you stack a bomb site and hope for the best. And it will be LNZ by the looks of it going for peek towards short any moment now if he wants to. No, it's actually option A. They're gonna stack a bomb side. Nilo still jump spotting, but actually he was just doubling back to pick up a smoke. I don't think he's caught Krad walking through the smoke, so this should be a free pickup. Yep, it is. Krad gets the kill, and now he can just call the bomb back. They just need to hold the line towards short, rotate the bomb back to safety.
LNT finds a quick kill, tries to play a little bit of gun game, picking up the op, but he is not going to be successful in his next endeavor. And Maxter, I don't know how successful he's going to be in saving this round. I mean, there is money in the pockets of FORZE, so they can afford to keep Shalfi and maybe a few other players here. And Shalfi is just going to be holding. Maxter's going to be spotted. Shalfi
Nice
not able to take him down yet. Really nicely played, but did not account for the op being there. 7-3 right now for FORZE. A fantastic lead to be picking up already on your T side, but this now is the point of no return right now for Young Ninjas. So they need to make sure that they get an 8-7 half here, or else it is just looking at, you know, a FORZE dominance in this first half, and maybe, just maybe, we could be looking at Inferno.
Yeah, let's not forget, we're looking at maybe the most CT-sided map in the pool, if not leveled up with Nuke, right? I mean, those are the maps on which a lot of pros up to this day are sharing the opinion of Overpass being even harder to play on the T side than compared to a Nuke, right? It's simply because of the pressure that you're getting from the CT side. I guess it's just a map that's been built in a way that allows you to dictate the tempo, even though you should be defending, which is, you know, it's really interesting. I guess it's one of the reasons that it's one of my favorite maps as well, because you can get a lot of freedom on the defensive side of things. You don't really need to, well, you can't just stay passive. You can do that, but it's not like you need to just stay passive and just wait and hope to get a cheeky timing every now and then. You can actually fight. You can actually try and pressure, and that means that if you want to have a successful T side, you need to really put the hours in, right? You need to have really good protocols. You need to have really good ideas, great understanding on the setups of the CTs, as we pointed out a couple rounds ago. You know, that result pre-fire to Warsaw was just one example of all of that. But yeah, it's just a map on which, when you see a good T side, when you see a 7-3 T side, you can really appreciate it for what it's worth.
Down and off as well, so he's going to find another opening pick. His air are going to be unsuccessful, and the problems continue just to build right now for the Young Ninjas side. You have to feel a little bit sorry for them after playing so well on map 1. Right now, they are being absolutely dominated, and there's nothing really they can do about it. Maxter is the only man with a flash here. Nilo and LNT are going to get close. The flash goes in, and Nilo is going to go down. LNT answers back with a kill, but he's instantly dropped. Maxter, he's heard the steps behind him. He's let that player pass, but it's cost Adam B his life. And Maxter now has to try and do it all. The thing is, he's going to be overlooked completely, but only good for one for the moment. There's a second. Now, where does the third come from? And it doesn't come from anywhere. Jerry from long shuts it down. 8-3. FORZE continue just to push forward. And I mean, what do you do right now for Young Ninjas? You've no money. You have to go for a half buy. You have to hope that you call a set piece and it works out. Otherwise, to be honest, Ted, I'm already looking towards Inferno here.
Yeah, it does look like it. I guess it was only fair. We thought that this game would maybe have the potential to go all 3 maps, but you know, as we have a round like that coming up, you're playing against people like Zorti, like Jerry, like Shofi. You're never gonna get an easy game in the playoffs. That's for sure. You might get away with a cheeky win in a group stage or a main Swiss, but you know, when it comes down to the playoffs, man, those guys know how to come back in those games. And you know, I actually wanted to talk about them just a little bit, because obviously Jerry's been in this organization for over 5 years now. Shelfie's been here for a bit over a year. Zordi's been here for 2 years. Shelfie actually did arrive with Fears, the coach, one of the, you know, I'd say most famous Russian coaches out there. We all remember him from the Vegas Squadron days, and you know, the really good runs at the majors. But did you know that actually this trio has marked 352 maps together so far? which is, you know, that's quite a lot to play as a trio.
That is quite an amount, to be fair. Quite an
Yeah,
amount to
especially
kill.
nowadays when there's so many changes happening.
Yeah, if there's problems in a roster, you know, usually there's a change every few months. So this FORZE team, of course, they do like to trust the process. Oh, the boost up there. Ah, Shalfie was spamming through, and Era needs to get out of there, taking a little bit of damage on the exit. It's trying to bait a player into him. Jerry with 3 kills in this round. This is 9. And FORZE definitely feeling fine. Will he be able to get one on the exit Era? No, he won't. So he hangs on 7 HP. And now 9. Only 6 rounds possible for young ninjas, but at this stage they'll take anything.
Yeah, at this point you're just playing to make it a bit more respectful and put yourself in a position where if you win the pistol round and the conversions in the second half, you're going to be in touching distance. I feel like you still think about a lot of the buy rounds, and they haven't really been too close for comfort. I mean, the young ninjas have been getting kills, but it just feels like they're getting a bit outsmarted. Let's see, though. It's not too late for them to make this game competitive and this map competitive overall. We did see on the previous map that they tend to be a T-sided team. Well, I guess on Mirage more than on a map like Overpass, but still you might be feeling comfortable being the aggressors. Nilo this time around not alone on the setup towards long. He's got the support of his Oper behind him, but needs Era to at least take the attention away.
Alanzido dead towards connector, Nilo down as well, and Era on the jump spot sees somebody, but he has to try and retreat. Result though has his cross back, so he's trapped out towards long. He's trapped towards map. The jiggle comes in, but Result is going to be ready for it. Gets the better of the Opper. Maxter close by towards Truck, but pretty much solo on this defense. Crad swings out. They know exactly where he is now, and they're going to be laser focused on him here. Surely he doesn't get out alive. Lots of damage done, and Jerry's just going to take him down. Adam B, he isn't even going to bother rotating. He knows this round is over. This is FORZE getting onto double figures, and how do you find a way back if you're young ninjas? I mean, okay, you were very, very prepared for Mirage. You had a really good T side, but the majority of that T side was you were just running in and you were winning every single aim duel. Now in this game, the aim duels aren't really going in your favor, but not only that, FORZE's game plan is absolutely stellar. And young ninjas just do not have an answer for it every single time.
Yeah, they've been so toughly abused towards the A-bomb side as well, if you think about it, right? When was the last time when actually LNZ got into a fight when they haven't already lost the round? And try and really think about it. There was a couple B rounds from FORZE in the start, but they were mainly close. Those were the rounds where Nip actually had the chance, but as soon as they started targeting that A-bomb side, it's been really tough for Nilo, been really tough for Era, been really tough for everyone trying to support. And at this point, I just feel like Result is just saying, the Opers against me don't jiggle, they just fall. He's on 14 and 9. He's been so good on the entries. Once again, just taking down Era without really letting him fire a shot there. Quite solid on this map. Mentioned him having a good game against 500 as well a couple days ago, even though they did lose the Overpass. Result was one of the people to make the Bulgarians work for it. He's making the Swedes work for it today, at least. It's not only working, it's suffering as well. Another half-buy coming in. FAMAS M4, Scout, double pistol upgrade, and a lot of hopes and dreams. Hasn't really been the easiest of days so far on Overpass. It's been a really well-structured T side. Shelfie, once again, looking for an opening. Gonna stop it for now. Wait for his teammates to get closer. But actually, that M4 posted on the angle towards short might be in a good position for a kill.
Maxter in a good position to find a second, as Adam B is going to be traded out. Now, there's still the pistols to deal with and this FAMAS, so that could be a problem for FORZE, especially if Maxter comes away with yet another. He's going to get aggressive towards short. This time, Jerry, though, gets the better of him. So they have lost that rifle. It's down to just the pistols and the scout, but it's down to just Jerry and Zorty, the two probably longest standing members in this FORZE lineup, and they're going to have to combine once again. Zorty's going to be down, and Jerry now a 1v3 on the cars. There's the first, there's the second. Era unbeknownst to Jerry, as the connector door does swing open, and Jerry hasn't heard it. He has no idea. Taps, looks towards heaven, and now turns around. Here's the steps. Sarah takes him down. A 1v3 from Jerry, and everything is going in FORZE's favor right now. Surely this map will do exactly the same.
There's no way that Era believes that Jerry doesn't hear the opening of the door and him dropping in water, right? That's why he's just stepping. He's just running at him. He's like, okay, he's heard me. I just need to go for the fight. Jerry had no idea. But there's no way that Era could suspect that, right? I mean, pardon, but there's no way you just open the door. You just jump in the water and you're like, yeah, the guy on the side hasn't heard me. It's such a nice play from Jerry as well. Isolating 1v1s. Great awareness for the first 2 kills, and the third one was just easy peasy for him. 11-3. We might get another 12-3 half here. We did get it map number 1, I believe. No, it was even a 13-2, right? Yeah, it was a 13-2, and now it's going to be a 12-3. We're seeing quite the dominant T-side force from both teams here on their respective map picks. Zorti already posted on the angle. It was good effort from Adam B and Maxter in this previous round, though, but still not enough. The T's might want to target and run it back towards B in this round again, so we might see some more dynamic duo action from the Young Ninjas side. But beforehand, the protocol clearance of the toilets, and once again, it is Jerry to walk into the ope.
Era, nice shot. Now, Basalt, is he going to push past that Molotov? Yes, but still into the scope of Era. Holds his nerve and hits 2. 11-4. Might just be on the cards as the ball makes its way towards B. Once again, Young Ninjas in a pretty decent setup to deal with the short play and the monster play that's coming out. So he hits the no scope onto Maxter, but Adam B with the trade, and a lot better. They finish at least with 1 round. As you have a look there, massive discrepancy. 11-4. Can Young NIP bring this back, or for the very first time, are we going to all 3 maps in round of 16? Well, back to the second half of Overpass right now. FORZE currently the favourites, not only on the scoreboard, but according to 1xBet as well. So let's see if they're going to be able to close it out and, of course, send it to a deciding map. We haven't seen it so far in the round of 16. Maybe, just maybe, the last game is going to be the one, the outlier.
Yeah, provide us with all the goods, all the action. Let's see if the Young Ninjas want us to go to a third, or if they're going to be able to close it out here and now. Shofi says no with the opening kill in the pistol round. Adam B looking for a recovery peak, but Shofi wins that fight as well. Supported by results. Flash doesn't really phase Adam B that much, but they will kill that goes in favor of the FORZE boys. So 5 versus 3 to kick things off in this pistol round. And Zorti's already pushed in behind. LNZ seems to have an idea of the possibility, though. If he is patient enough, he might get rewarded, but turns around in the exact same moment as they say that, so might get unpleasantly surprised any moment now, and he does.
Monster pipe being pushed through, the steps are being made. Era only good for 1. That is the CT pistol falling in favor of FORZE, and we have traded both pistols in both maps. Now FORZE just need 4 more rounds to close it out. Young Ninjas, this should be a pure eco for them. Make sure that they get the guns up in the next round. 13-4 though, of course, that's what you give up. That is a very, very horrible scoreline to be looking at.
Yeah, I guess at this point it's just about the mental, right? You just run it with the pistols. You give them this round for free. Well, not give it for free, but you just go and die pretty much. And then as soon as you get onto the buy rounds, it's going to be the same mental game as we saw from FORZE on map number 1, or at least they hope to have the same success to try and get that confidence up for the next map, you know, just try and shake off the dust and get a couple rounds on the board, make sure you're not thinking about that overpass all that much, get a couple rounds on the T side, and then as soon as FORZE are able to close it out, just get tunnel vision on the third map and not really think about this one all that much. The third map is a really good map for Young Ninjas as well. I mean, not that this one's over yet. They obviously have to play their first buy round in this one as well. Might be able to bring it back. But if we were to go to an Inferno, individually, this is one of the best maps for both Nilo and LNZ. And even though from a team point of view, the stats might not show it, Young Ninjas is actually quite solid on that map. So I guess it's not terrible news for them that we're going to... we might be going, actually, I should say, to a third. You still are left with some minor fighting chances here on Overpass, but a double HE. 3 players tagged down to start it off in the first buy round. Surely not ideal.
Low one for the first gun round from Young Ninjas. Haven't taken much map control, haven't really expended too much utility. FORZE haven't seen anything, but Crad is going to begin to push now, and this is a unbelievable timing that he's going to begin to walk as the connector walk does come in, or rather the banana walk. Now, Adam B is going to be holding, and if the timing just works out, he is going to be able to spot him, and just as he's going by the fountain there, he's going to be able to catch a glimpse of Crad. Nicely done. And now Young Ninjas, they're going to sprint up onto this A site. There's nobody here to defend. One player towards long, that's going to be Shalfie, but the site is completely under lock and key for now. Bomb goes down, and FORZE now have to consider how they want to go about this retake.
Yeah, you should consider the threat of a second player towards the long area, which they don't actually. And Shalfie's going to get the kill surprisingly enough. Max, they're now in a really tough position, though. He's going to get pressured by both sides. Shalfie just reining in with utility, trying to support his teammates on the retake, but he's going to support him with getting kills as well. NINJAS drops one in the meantime, though. Young Ninjas, they're trying to hold strong, trying to hold on to the bomb side, and it feels like they will be able to do so. Result just picking up the AK, and he's out of there. It's going to be 5 rounds on the board for the Young Ninjas as they're able to pick up at least their first gun round here on the T side.
Nicely done. Result will bring that gun forward, though, so that is a little bit of a threat, but I think it should be the only threat in this round. I don't think FORZE are going to want to force behind this. There's no need to rush, you know, a game like this. Jerry can still purchase up. Actually, they're going to force here, so...
Yeah, that's one of those moments. You just say that, and then you're like, what do I know?
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of this at all, to be honest.
Yeah, I guess it's because the loss bonus is minimal. So even if they go for the eco, I think there was 1 or 2 players that wouldn't have had enough money to buy in the next one. So you're thinking about that. Yeah. You're thinking about, you know, yeah, we're gonna be able to buy if we hold on to both rifles, which is not highly likely. You know, it might happen, it might not. It's still a risk. So going for the eco, we might be stuck in a position where we have to double eco, and instead we can just go for the investment now and not let NIP build up any kind of an economy, so they're gonna get reset in the next round and blah 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 and etc. So yeah, I guess this is the mind process behind this all, but it's a really good chance for the Ninjas to bounce back with a couple more rounds here on the offensive side of things.
Nilo peeks in towards long, so he's going to be caught in no man's land here, and that's going to be the trade in from LNC as Young Ninjas now might try and make their way out towards middle, but Jerry finds that kill, and now the B players are going to be on high alert because Jerry's seen nothing else. He's cleared out long. They just need to be ready. However, it is only 2 deagles. The flash comes in, not going to be good enough to blind Crad. Shalfie is going to be overlooked, and LNZ caught with nades out, nearly taken down, but Shalfie had to go for the reload. The molly comes in, burns Shalfie just enough. Well, towards the heavens, Jerry finds that kill, needs to get a second, down into a 1v1, and he's already out. He's already in the water area. Gets the bomb down, tries tries to get away safely,
Oh.
but Jerry, he's done so much damage. Oh, the flash comes in. He's completely blind, and luckily, Era didn't go for a peek, because Jerry would have been dead to right, but Era already going to walk through. Oh, calls his bluff to perfection. As Jerry stuck it, Era finds the kill and sticks a bullet between the eyes.
That's such a wild way to approach the 1v1 from the perspective of Era as well, right? He hears the drop in water. He knows that Jerry could be holding the cross back to short. He's like, nope, I'm out of here. Knife out, jumps back, flash right in the face of Shofi, or rather of Jerry, and then just goes back. Cold as a cucumber. Well, cool as a cucumber, I guess. Cucumbers aren't really... Yeah.
They can
they're
be
not
cold if you keep
Yeah,
them...
they could be. They could be.
If you keep them in the fridge.
Yeah,
so.
it's 98% water, is it? So water, technically, is what ice is made of, right? It's frozen water, so...
Yeah.
Maybe you can be as cold as a cucumber if it's a really cold cucumber. But you get the idea. He was ice cold playing the clutch. Called the bluff. 13-6.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, go for the flash, go for the peak. Everybody's going to swing out long toilets. Now, Nilo in this close position, this should be all right. Air is going to be holding the line from a little bit further back, and actually, not too bad. You lose 2 players, fair enough, but that could have went horribly wrong. Horribly wrong. And,
Yeah.
you know, when you kind of come out of those situations, when you realize what might have happened, you come out relatively unscathed. No, that's a pretty good result. 13-7, buyback here from FORZE. No AWP in the hands of Zorti just yet. Era has the opportunity to bring out a big green, and he's going to grab that opportunity, put both hands on that scoped rifle. And are we going to start it off? No, never mind. I thought we were going to start it off with a 4-man tower. It's something that the young ninjas do like to do, so
Yeah,
keep
occasionally.
that in mind.
Yeah, they might want to keep it for later on right now, but Krad's already opened things up towards connector. Double push towards monster. Flash is actually good, but some damage done. A lot of space taken. That's wild.
Oh.
Maxter just jumps through the connector smoke. That's such a big risk as well. If he goes down, that means that short is compromised, B is compromised. Young NIP are left with nothing. But now, because of him getting that kill, they actually have connector and short control, even though they don't realize it yet. And they have the middle part of the map. FORZE as well, after showing that presence towards monster, they're going to fall back and stack with 3 members towards the A-bomb side, which by the looks of it has been called completely by the young ninjas. The only risk of it being that running back into that B-bomb side, there is a good chance that you just walk in monster or walk out of monster and you don't hard clear Jerry here, which could lead to your demise.
Yeah, they're going to beat that smoke. Go LNC. Is he going to be ready for it? They don't
Oh
look at it.
my.
Oh, no. Jerry's...
Hello.
Hello.
Yo, boys.
1, 2. Is there going to be a third? No. Behind the smoke, Era can't even push past it either. That's the round over. Surely. There's no way back for Maxter and Era. Despite everything, you know, young NIP, it managed to pick up so many rounds here. Never mind. Era,
Oh,
there's
wait.
a quick double. He gets his hands on the ball.
Hold on a minute.
Maxter's in a perfect position to take down
Hold
Zorti.
on a
This is
minute.
huge. It's a 1 versus 2 now. Oh no, Shalfie needs to hit both players. Now, they are both low, but the headshot needs to be instant from Maxter. Shalfie holds on. Era gave them a chance, but it's taken away by the highest rated rifler on the side of FORZE.
Oh, that was so close from Era as well. What a massive play. I like the bait from FORZE though. Jerry getting onto the self boost, the smoke towards monster as well to even sail it even deeper. And after he actually gets the double, he falls down. Most of the time, you're going to see the player get refrag, right? If there's no smoke, Era's just going to be holding the line, probably gets the refrag instantaneously on Jerry. But because of the smoke, Jerry can actually try and escape from there. Still, he decides to pick up the fight. Era does manage to get a lovely double to keep them in the round. But in the end of the day, it's FORZE going on top once again, 14-8. Just 2 away from forcing a decider, which, of course, if needed, would be an Inferno.
Oh,
That was nice.
good refrag there, though, from Crad. Oh, he gets tagged up. And actually, I believe it was he dinked on the first one. I'm not too sure.
I think so, yeah.
I think he was dinked through the rock for like 6 HP or something.
Yeah, but you know, that's one of those moments. You get dinged down and instantly, like mentally, you've already lost the fight.
Yeah, yeah.
It doesn't matter that it's like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 HP. You just get dinged. You're like, your monitor starting to get shaky. You're like, oh yeah, sure. I'm dead.
Very close by in the toilet, so the trade needs to be there, but Jerry with a good reposition for the second kill, but it's going to be Maxter and Era just making their way up onto the site with no problems. Result is now flanking up Con, and Era hits that shot on the rifle. He is still proving to be very dangerous indeed, even without the op in his hands. 14-8, still life in Young Ninjas, but not much life in this buy from FORZE.
Yeah, you know what? Era's actually getting fired up towards the latter stages of this map. And even though it still feels like Young Ninjas are really far from trying to contest this overpass, I guess this is a positive going into Inferno, right? Let's say that Era continues picking up kills. He's been really vital for them in a lot of those rounds. Let's say that he continues doing that on Inferno, especially on the CT side. But he's looking sharp with the AK as well if he wants to play it on the offensive side of things. So you know, on Inferno, which is not the easiest of maps to op on, but it's a map on which, you know, if you have an oper that's having a nice day in the office, he can still be the difference maker. I guess this is a positive, considering that, you know, even though FORZE have been having a lot of nice success here, it's mainly been because of, you know, Jerry having a really solid game, the team being really well-rounded, but individually, we haven't seen anything wowsy from Zorti, you know what I mean? He hasn't really been spectacular in terms of individual skill. Now, it is true that he hasn't really had to do too much, and he's done what he's had to so far, and we haven't seen him play the AVP on the CT side too much, but you know, it can still be a positive sign for the Young Ninjas.
Wowsy, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was thinking about the way to say it. Spectacular.
These pistols, Era, no problem. No problem at all. Still get a little bit nervous even when you're not playing against it, when you can just see what's about to happen, what's about to unfold.
Yeah, man,
in front of your
don't talk
eyes.
to me about that. You know, I've been following the Bulgarian teams through the RMR Open qualifiers and then 500 through the close qualifier. The amount of anti-ecos.
Oh man,
Down the sink.
yeah. Happened when I was watching Viperio against One Win, flash in middle in
And that's
Vertigo.
when it hurts. That's when it hurts.
Full USPs, flash
Yep.
into middle, and they just got destroyed. But they still won the game, so. Tactical balls from FORZE.
Yeah, I like that. We had pretty similar thing to from Young Ninjas on map 1, right? But it was I think it was 14-8. But that's simply because of, you know, they had a buy round in 14-8. So I guess Jerry would have had a tactical timeout in the previous round if they had the money. But again, this is just a reality check. It's not really, okay, guys, there is a problem. We can't close out the game. It's just, yeah, this game isn't over yet. There is a way back for them. They haven't found it yet, but it exists. So we want to make sure they don't really find it. We want to make sure we close it out here and now and just get the quick exchange, you know, the 16-8 map 1, 16-9 map 2 here, and we just move on to a third. And Pratt, he's the first one to make a step in the right direction with the opening. Kills already as well there to refrag him after Era takes one down for the side of the T's. Man advantage for the CT side as they fall back from the initial fight, but the Young Ninjas looking for more success over towards the beta bomb side. Smoke's gonna make them undo, or at least decide against it for the time being, but it still feels like they don't have enough freedom and space to work with to bounce back for an A play.
Oh, not at all, not yet. Double monster setup as well is in a really good state, this B bomb site. But it really depends how Young NIP and how successful they are making their way in here. They're still going to go smoke up towards heaven. LNZ doesn't have flashes though. That's going to be on Adam B, or it might be on Maxter as they get into the pipe. Oh, LNZ spots out Jerry. When is the flash coming in here? And Maxter is going to line it up. He'll line up a second maybe as well. The swing comes out wide. Still one more. Is this going to be going unchecked? No, LNZ with a big headshot. But it's allowed Zorti now to rotate into position. He's in towards water, and Shalfie now in the back line. Shalfie from short surely could stop it all. 1, 2, it's over. FORZE 15-9, and now they just need to close this one out. 6 opportunities to do so. Young Ninjas at least have a little bit of it by Nilo, excuse me, is going to be the only person without an AK. Still doable for Young Ninjas to force an overtime, but it's looking unlikely.
Yeah, unlikely is one way to put it. It's 15-9, 6 consecutive rounds required here on the T side of Overpass. Probably not going to happen, as you said. You can still try and get a couple more rounds on the board. You've already won more than FORZE did on your map pick, so I guess if that counts as, you know, somewhat of a success, somewhat of a positive, you can try and be optimistic about it, or because of it. Zorti opens things up though, taking down LNZ, and Air has been tagged down low as well elsewhere on the map. Through the monster smoke. Again, quite proactive towards the mid-centric part of the map, have been FORZE throughout this entire half. They've already, I think in a lot of those rounds, a lot of the buy rounds nonetheless, they've had connector control, and that just comes to show that they love controlling the entire map, having the right idea on what's going on. And now the Young Ninjas, they just run it down monster, all 4 of them coming in from the same spot, trying to stay on Overpass.
A good way to start it. Had a be nice shot onto result. They need to make sure that Jerry is going to be at least considered towards short, and the peak is perfect from Adam B. Finds that kill. There's a player actually boosted up in towards CT, and is he going to be spotted out? Player in the heavens, Sorty spotted. Chaffee still manages to find the kill, and Adam B just off the mark with the spray. So it's a 3 versus 3, and it's not perfect for the Young Ninjas. They are still a little bit nervous, but Adam B is going to be able to at least put some of those worries to bed, as he puts and tucks a few of the FORZE players into bed and says goodnight to them in this round.
Yeah, great work on the entries. It's again the dynamic duo, as we call them, Maxter and Adam B. Another tactical timeout coming in for the T side, and you know that's actually interesting. They know that the money on the CT side is gone right now. Maybe this is some of those, you know, motivational speech moments that they're having. You know, it's just 5 rounds, guys. They have no money, so it should be 4 rounds unless we decide to throw it away. So let's go. We can still bring it back. And we know that they can bring it back. We know it's not impossible. Let's see if Jerry allows it, though. He's had a great game. Maybe if Jerry doesn't have that great game, but you know, there's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes out there. But yeah, maybe if he doesn't have that good of a game, Young Ninjas are still in with a fighting chance. But you know, he's been really good on Overpass so far. Supported by Shofi, who was good enough on map number 1 as well. Bar the fact that they lost it, he was still putting some great numbers, still holding his zone in some type rounds, being able to deliver some nice multi-kills. Full eco, as we said, triple boost towards short to start it off. You're hoping for a nice cheeky opening kill, and then you try and work your way out of there. But unfortunately for the side of FORZE, no one's really headed towards that direction.
Fortunately for Young Ninjas, right? I mean, don't want to be caught off by a tricky little play.
I wonder if we actually see the 4-man tower in the next round. Oh no, they have no money for an AVP. Oh, never mind. I was thinking, you know, the 4-man tower could be a good feature to have later on into the game, when it's, you know, you get 1 buy round, you're just getting too closer to leveling things up and getting into another overtime. It would be a really cool thing to have in your book. We might see it as the rounds go on, if they manage to win another buy round and they have the money to purchase the AVP for Era. Result should have enough in the next one to drop one over to Zorti, so we might see some action from the young man. But moving forward, this one should be quite free for the Young Ninjas to take. Jerry's actually giving it away as well. He's gonna call for help. And let's see what kind of a cheeky idea they actually have in mind for those pistols.
Well, the pistol's being found out left, right, and center here by the AKs, and all of them will fall 15-11. Right now, Era having a great game for Young Ninjas, really keeping them alive so far. Of course, it has always been one of his better maps. even when he was back on GamerLegion, Overpass was the map that you really didn't want to play them on, especially with the impact that he could have. But surprisingly to a lot, I would say the impact that he's having on an AK is a lot more than he's having on an op. He is a very capable rifler, and we are seeing that as well. But he would like to get his hands on a big green. Maybe, of course, to go for that 4-man tower. Maybe, just maybe, to have that one-shot potential. Of course, it can really change around in a matter of moments. Shafi in towards connector right now. There's an aggression going in towards Monster. Oh, Maxter gets dinked up here. That's a problem. Shafi might just swing him here because he's heard the dink. Adam Beto finds the opening kill.
No
and
way.
Shafi peeks right into Maxter. That's a headshot landed. Adam B with another kill onto Jerry.
All right.
All right. Okay. That's what they say. A wounded animal is a dangerous animal.
Yeah, just going for the handmakers. Krad just barely manages to get away with one there, but now he's on the run. And actually, they're going to group up. Yeah, be nerdy about it. Triple peek him. Make sure he has no chance to win another fight. And look at the low HP on every single Young Ninjas member, bar Era. But Adam B gets another kill. That's so clinical. That's so unfortunate for FORZE. All of those fights. Maxter probably should be going down 99% in connector there, right? He gets dinged through the wall. It feels like nothing's going his way. It's supposed to be an unfortunate round, and a round that ends the game for FORZE in their favor, rather. But no, they still win the fights. They come on top in a lot of fights that they should be losing, but they still win them regardless. Regardless of all of the factors, the circumstances, they just nail the headshots. And now it's 12 rounds. Now this game is interesting. FORZE go for another tactical timeout. Now, this one is because they feel the pressure. There's only 3 rounds between you and, well, the monster of Era, who's somehow bringing a show-stopping performance on an AK, even though he's an oper. We're watching an Overpass, seeing Era 26 and 17. You wouldn't believe me if I told you that he's had most of those on an AK, but he has, and it's been really impressive. A couple nice and flashy plays with the AVP as well. It's his trademark, but in the end of the day, it's been the AK action as well from the Young Ninjas. 3 rounds away, another eco coming up for FORZE. That means that there's only 1 buy round standing. Well, 1 buy round and 2 anti-ecos standing between the Young Ninjas and an overtime on Overpass, Jack. This could get real interesting.
Nilo might miss the timing here. Oh no, that's a problem. He's going to go down. Era needs to just hang on to the AK, but he's being swarmed upon. His teammates are arriving to help, and luckily they are. Now, Result picks up an AK. Is he going to be able to do any more damage with it? Not like it is going to matter all that much. If he really wants to, he could probably just save it. You have an AK to play with.
Yep.
Less money might help you as the rounds continue to go on. However, this is 13 for Young Ninjas, and this is a problem for FORZE. Need to hope that they can close it out in regulation, because if Young Ninjas are able to, of course, get this to overtime with the momentum on their side, you would have to favor them a little bit.
Yeah, you know, by the way, there's an interesting fact about FORZE on Overpass. Actually, because we said that they've played 24 games on Overpass in the last 3 months, right? Only once, or pardon, only twice, a team has been able to get up to 14 rounds against them on Overpass and lose the game. Only twice. That was Anonymous on the 24th of November in the CCT North Europe. It was a 16-14 in favor of FORZE. And then it was a 16-14 against VP Prodigy. But every other time, they have been pushed into an overtime, or the enemy team has just been able to get up to 14 rounds. FORZE actually have lost. They haven't won a single overtime. Now, there hasn't been a crazy amount of overtimes amongst those 24 games, to be fair. I think it's been only 2, if I'm not mistaken. One of them was against Into the Breach, again, in the CCT North Europe. And then the other one was a more recent one. Again, a CCT North Europe, but the next edition of it, which was already in the start of this month. It was against GamerLegion, so it was in 2023, February the 3rd. They lost 15-19, but that's a crazy and scary prospect to think about. Let's see. Tactical timeout. Out of the way. Era goes on the AVP in this round. Well, the AK has been looking sharp. You don't want to risk it now. Now it's quite important. And Zorti's opened things up. Maxter goes down, but look at Era. He's going to try and hunt him. Try and compensate for his lost teammate. Nilo just walks out of long, but it's a 1-for-1 what he gets. Oh my god.
Nice reaction from Era. He's
Quick.
very quick on that op. Of course, I don't know why we're so surprised. We've seen it time and time again in this one. Adam B. Oh, result. He went to clear it, but didn't really. He half-arsed it, and that is a problem. Smoke down.
It's man advantage. They're just slowing it down. Even though they have 2 players that have been tagged down. By the way, Era is over 30 kills already, but now they can just slow it down. Just hope that FORZE walk into them.
They split right now as well, so the smoke goes down towards front toilets. They don't want to group up, which could be a little bit of a problem. Zorti scopes and begins to walk in here, flash through. LNZ might just walk through the smoke maybe, especially on this second flash. He's going to clear out the close angle, needs to get that trade, and does. No idea where Jerry is, and he is going to back away down banana. Now, Jerry's heard this.
He's realized it.
Oh, this is a problem, because Adam B's walked out, but that should confirm it. Now, LNZ, he can just sprint up. Jerry, of course, is waiting for the steps. He's listening for the player to make his way up. But there isn't a lot of time here. Molly needs to go down towards there. Jerry is going to smoke it. That's going to panic LNZ. Oh, and Jerry hits the shot. Clutches up. 16-13. We're not going to go to an overtime like we expected, Ted. Instead, for the first time in the round of 16, we are going to a decider. But before we go to our deciding map of Inferno, we are going, of course, to a little bit of a break. We'll see you guys in around 6 or 7 minutes time. You definitely don't want to miss the conclusion of this game.
very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move. One push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-bet.
Win up to $1 million with your CSGO esports predictions. Simply guess the kill scores of the 10 players in a CSGO match. The more you guess correctly, the bigger the prize. You'll need at least 2 correct predictions to win a prize. Guess all 10 correct and win $1 million. Experience the exciting new way to add a little prosperity when watching esports tournaments. And register now to receive a free entry ticket upon sign-up. Predict kills, win millions, prosper.
Tired of boring case openings? Do you always get only cheap skins? The Hellcase website has tons of options to upgrade your inventory. It's up to you to participate in giveaways, events, or compete with other players in opening cases. Hellcase, your world of expensive skins.
The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the CCT Western European Series 1. We are, for the first time, Ted, going to a deciding map in the round of 16, of course, at the playoffs here between FORZE and Young Ninjas, and we couldn't separate them after looking at a Mirage and an Overpass. It's going to take an El Clasico on Inferno to decide it all, to see who goes through to face iNation in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, this one's going to be for all the marbles. A one-sided map number 1, a fairly one-sided map number 2, but with a bit of an attempt for a comeback in the end from the Young Ninjas that, you know, Jerry made sure to kind of fail for them. Well, now we're going to go into an Inferno, notoriously one of the best maps for a decider, notoriously the map that you'd want a long series to end up on, especially when we're speaking about playoffs, especially when we're speaking about the last game of a round. Speaking of which, we know that we are now ready to jump straight into the server.
You really joke.
You know what, Jack? I don't really appreciate you laughing at me for my voice leaving me here.
Did you really choke on air?
No, it wasn't a joke. It's just, you know, my voice trying to say bye-bye.
Yeah.
It was my voice. No, I didn't choke. No.
Okay,
no.
I thought you know the way sometimes you just like the air comes in the wrong way?
I don't choke on air. No.
Yeah. Happens sometimes, man.
Yeah,
It goes down the wrong pipe, and yeah, that's it.
Tell me more about the wrong pipe, please.
Oh man.
Okay. Knife round goes in favor of the Young Ninjas, which means that they will be starting on that CT side of things. Now, when you look at the stats for both teams on Inferno, it's not looking too bad. It's not looking too great. It's pretty all right, I'd say, for both teams. For the Young Ninjas and for FORZE, they've both played it 17 times the past 3 months. FORZE with a 53% win rate, Young Ninjas with a 47% win rate. And interestingly enough, pistol round win percentage is actually, well, quite close for both teams. Positive 52 for the side of Forza, negative 47 for the young ninjas. But Nilo and Ellens here looking to make this one look better. As I say that, though, look at that from Zorti and Crad. What a start to a third map. Jeez.
Adam B might overlook this angle from Crad, and yes, he will. He goes down, so Maxter has to go this one alone. A 1 versus 3, maybe, to get him back and his team on the board early on, but he doesn't have a kit, not right now. And well, he has found that first kill and the second. Maxter, hold on a second. Bomb is going to be tapped. Crad, where is he coming from? Oh, look at all the damage done. He's going to swing him. Maxter,
He's got enough time.
Oh, he has plenty of time to get the defuse off here. Maxter, what a 1 versus 3 pistol to keep you, and rather not keep you in the game, but get you alive, get you rolling on the deciding map.
Oh my goodness, what a 1 versus 3. What a clean shot on the third one as well. Maxter, that was absolutely phenomenal. That felt like it had to be a T-side pistol for Forza. And look at the tactical timeout. Now this is awkward. Now this spells trouble. A tactical timeout on the back of a lost pistol round. You don't see that every day of the week. You know that something went horribly wrong. That's crazy from Maxter. What a tactical timeout. And let me tell you that young ninjas are enjoying the hell out of this pause right now. They're like, oh, we win the pistol. They go for attack. Well, that's lovely. Arizona and AVP in round number 2. You might not be ready for that. You surely are not going to be ready for that.
Oh, what do you even
Phenomenal
go?
stuff.
What do you even say about that, to be honest? I mean,
well, you say that Maxter is the best teammate. He clutches the round, drops over an AVP to Era. What a nice teammate.
Era now needs to be careful. They're coming up second mid. This could be horrible for him. Needs to try and get away to safety. Peeks out onto Result, and actually Result's going to take him down. Oh, this could go horribly wrong. Luckily, Maxter's going to save the day.
What's going on?
He's going to have a 3K to his name in both rounds so far, and he can still add to that tally if they make their way towards this A site. But for the moment, FORZE are stopped. They're considering heading over towards B, where right now it is Nilo alone. Smoke in hand to delay, to allow the rotation of LNZ back, of course, but needs to be careful. He spots out Crad. Is he going to push through the smoke? And yes, right into the waiting arms of Nilo. Not the brightest of ideas, but sometimes you have to take a risk, but the risk is going to reap no reward. 2-0 young ninjas, and to keep the op alive as well.
Man, Maxter's a pro gamer. He's a professional CSGO player. What a start to that map. I don't know what he did between Overpass and the start of Inferno, but those 15 minutes, those, not even 15, those 10 minutes, I want to know what happened. I really want to know what happened. To start a map like that after, you know, such a... I'd say it's even more devastating the way that they lost Overpass than maybe the way that Forza lost Mirage, simply because of young ninjas feeling like they were close, but not being able to get it over the mark. Whoa. No, this one's looking scary. If I'm Forza, I'm really scared after some of those duels early on. Young ninjas look really comfortable with their individual fights. I know it's just the pistols on the other side, but it's just the fact that you're getting those kills, and you know that those youngsters, they're gonna get fired up on the back of landing those 6 shots, you know. Those are the ones that get your confidence up, especially if you manage to convert this one without dropping too many members here. Your money's going to be looking solid. You're going to be able to afford to go for those aggressive plays if you want to. And it's a really good way to delay Jerry's master plans getting into the action here on Inferno. First buy round yet to come. Obviously, FORZE are just looking for the maximum damage possible in a round like this. And Nilo looking to farm up that cash money.
Yeah, Nyla close by. Jerry's going to walk his way in. Not going to clear out towards Log. Shalfie is going to be able to refrag his teammate at least. And, well, LNZ, although he's probably favoured in the fight with the Galil against the Pistols, he just doesn't want to take the risk. So, back away to safety. And they'll make their way into the site if they can. But rotation should be here in time. Air with the AWP. Shalfie looking for a deagle shot, but LNZ will actually claim both. One casualty for the Young Ninjas, as FORZE now get ready and get set for their first buy round, really, of the half. Of course, not counting the force buy in the second. We'll see what the AKs have to offer.
Yeah, you got to be hoping for a good start. Obviously, we know Jerry, we know his specialty. There's going to be a ton of utility thrown over towards Banana and a lot of fights happening towards that part of the map. Hard aggro towards Banana every single buy round. Try and get that map control. Try and have your slow and steady defaults in place. That's going to be the game plan. Early boost and a double setup towards short now as FORZE start contacting their way out of middle any moment now.
Both down out of B, just trying to dodge the flash, and he's hit 2 quick headshots. A little bit of camera trickery there.
Yeah, I thought he got absolutely annihilated by the first player running out.
No, it was the other way around. I know exactly how you're feeling because I thought the same, but the kill feed says otherwise. 4-2, as in 4 men versus 2 Ts on the other side. Jerry and Zorti, how did they battle back into this round? The initial play completely shut down. Wasn't even a problem. Swatted away like a pesky fly. So far, so good for Young Ninjas. Still no problems whatsoever. LNZ pretty low on the crosshair placement. So not looking really for the kill. He's just looking for the information.
Yeah. Wants to see a player. As soon as he spots one, then Adam B can get activated and posted on the angle. Still misses the timing, actually. Allows Jerry to fall back. Oh, never mind. Actually gets it right in the target. And that's going to leave Zorti in the 1 versus 4. Trying to hold on to his AK for his dear life. It's a 4-0 start here on the CT side. And actually, Zorti's thinking about going maximum damage. Well, he's made some noise. Now he's been hurt. He might go down, which is good for him. Going to get some money. Going to be able to be on the same note with his teammates, but it's a great start for the Young Ninjas. Only 1 player going down in the first buy round as well. When come to think of it, FORZE actually didn't have a bad call, right? They went into the bomb side where there was only 2 defenders. No one was covering apartments as well, but it was just a great call from the Young Ninjas going for the boost. Adam B and Maxter once again just dropping the final hurdle. FORZE not being able to overcome that setup towards the short side. Losing way too many bodies there. And it's now just a half by Hero AK for Shelfie. A couple pistols. A slower start. Still plenty of opportunities left. It's not too late. In fact, too early to even speak about dominance. But the first couple rounds have been comfortable for the CT side.
Don't want to get too comfortable. Then complacency becomes a little bit of an issue. Oh, Era trying to rattle off a few shots through the smoke. It's going to be a B split as LNZ gets close to try and stop this.
Ooh.
But once Era goes down, maybe A is the play. But the bomb still towards this B site. And eventually FORZE are going to continue to move forward. But now with the open hands of Result, that could be a problem. Excuse me, in the hands of Jerry. There's a scout in play as well. 50 seconds. A players haven't moved. They can't move just yet. They don't know. Of course, the bomb is towards B. If they had that piece of the puzzle, the rotation surely would have come in. LNC still hasn't seen anything, but he's heard some steps. And now might fear the worst.
Oh, nice pickup from LNZ. Needs more though. Needs a multi-kill. Nilo's been spotted as well. Molotov to try and delay. Molotov to try and keep them away. But Shelfie doesn't need to be kept away. He can take the long-range fight with the AK-47 and wins it. And that's going to be first round on the board for the FORZE boys. They managed to make it work with the pistols. We spoke about that on the first map. Mirage was a map on which we did kind of point towards the prowess of the CAS teams when it comes down to those buys. Obviously, there was one Hero AK. There was another AVP picked up in the process, but It was the Pistols to start it off with a nice kill onto the Opera of Era. And from that point on, the Young Ninjas didn't really get a chance to fight in this round. Nice try there from LNZ to keep it honest. Not enough. Money for the CT side, still good enough. No room for panic. You can reinvest. You gotta be careful though. We haven't seen a single successful buy round so far from FORZE. It's nice winning those pistol rounds. You need to find a way to abuse the full buys as well. Let's see what they go for. Presumably back to that banana action. And yeah, there we have it. Just playing the default. Zorti's actually gone for a quick peek with the AVP. That's nice to see from him. Showing some confidence early on.
Oh, Era. Tag. Not the frag, sadly, for the Young Ninjas Opera. Result, just get the better of him. Nilo. Oh, that damage done. Jerry, I was going to say he was lucky to get out of that engagement alive, but he isn't so lucky. He's going to be taken down. Now, Young Ninjas need to get back out towards the pit. Shalfie has found a massive gap in the defense as of right now. And has he heard LNZ? I'm not too sure. Now, he's definitely heard him. He's walked a little bit closer. LNZ is going to overlook this angle. Yes, he is, completely. And already we're seeing FORZE really abuse that long position. Get in behind, cause problems, find the gaps. And Nilo is low HP here. Peeks out. Result takes him down. And that is 2 now for FORZE.
Yeah, that was a bit undecisive there from the likes of LNZ. Obviously, we don't know what's going on in the team speak. It might not be even... I'd say that maybe it's not even him making the decision, and it's just on the back of information from his teammates that he tries to run it back. He starts rotating back A, then he goes back B, then he goes back A again, and all of that is happening with him just running full W. So surely they should know that there was the timing for Shofi to find a window and try and abuse it, but yeah, maybe it would have been better. For a second there, I thought that they'd made the call, you know, a player could be out long, and we're going to run the setup. We know he could be. I think they were running the up bauk, under bauk setup towards the A-bomb side, so it felt like they were waiting for something like that. And then I was thinking, okay, so maybe LNZ just doubles back towards the B-bomb side, and they just played a 2-2, and, you know, whatever happens, happens. But yeah, he gets caught in no man's land, and as you pointed out, Nilo was already low on HP, so there's not really anything that he could do there, even in the form that he's been showing so far today. Well, especially on map number 1 on Mirage, he was absolutely spectacular. Overpass, not as much maybe. Arrow was, I'd say, the captain of the boat on this second map, but yeah, you can't really fault Nilo in that scenario. Thankfully for Young Ninjas, because of the saved guns, they can monster up another fairly decent buy. It's actually looking great. But they gotta get back to winning ways. Otherwise, the money's gonna continue dwindling away. And by that, I mean it's kind of gonna disappear after this round if they lose it as well.
Yeah, the pressure's being applied towards top banana here, though. They need to be ready. LNZ goes down towards long, but it's answered back with that one from Nilo. Era can't really overstay his welcome, and once again he's being wrapped upon, so surely he's just dead in the next few seconds, and indeed he will be. That's the round done and dusted, unless Maxter can save the day and catch the bomb out in a little bit of an awkward timing. But even with that kill, you can see they're not really too pressured into going for this, or rather they don't feel like there's too many opportunities
not
to present themselves to them. Yeah, no, save 3 now for FORZE. And once again, I'm going to highlight it. The long play, you know, they have that little bit of a long lurk. They have that little bit of a long wrap. And although, yes, it only gets 1 kill, it seals the round. And it's something that Young Ninjas are going to really have to try and address, because they're letting that player get out pretty much for nothing. They had LNZ there that time to try and stop him. But when LNZ was unsuccessful, once again, it's just something that the B players need to be really aware of.
Yeah, and it's always going to be tough, right? Especially when you're running that aggressive setup towards the car area on the B-bomb side. And you're already getting into a fight. I guess the only way that this one actually works out for you is if Nilo and Era are able to wipe out everyone from Banana and just get all 4 kills, and then it's just result left in an awkward 1 versus 4 or 1 versus 3 where he's stuck in CT and the CTs have control over the bump on Banana. But otherwise, it's gonna be a really tough round to win, and I completely agree with you on that one. They need to find a way to stop that from happening that much, or find maybe a safer way to approach it. You know, being able to spot the lurk, but not really necessarily go into a fight with him. As you can see, they're having a lot of success with those long fights, Force, and they just continue to abuse them. Even though it was a dedicated B play, as soon as Result gets the kill, you know that there's pretty much no way that the CTs win the round unless we see a magnificent, and by magnificent I mean an unreal play from Dioper or Nilo. But yeah, it's been tough ever since Forza got this first round on the board. D side starting to look quite solid. Let's not forget, they might have gotten a bit delayed on their start on the T side because of the great plays from Maxter in the start, right? The 3K into the pistol round, 3K anti-force round, and he's gotten 1 kill ever since. So it was a really quick start for him, but he's cooled off now. In fact, he's not even the top fragger on his team anymore. That one's for Nilo. So it feels like now Forza get to play the game that they initially wanted to, and it's been working out quite nicely.
Era completely blind by that flashbang. 4 players here defending towards A, so if you make your way into this site, you are going to need to be picture perfect on your entries, or else that could be a problem. A little bit of utility going to be thrown back in the faces of the teams.
I think they split B again.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the worst possible round that Forza can go for, according to the setup. Well, from the perspective of the young ninjas, from the perspective of Forza, that's the best call. You have LNZ all alone towards the back of the B bomb side. He's going to get wrapped upon. They need to get aggressive towards middle. They need to get a move on. They can't just stand still. And it looks like they're realizing that, but it might be a little bit too late.
Adam B, now realizing what's going on. LNZ goes down. He was completely alone, of course.
They can't believe their luck right now.
Yeah. Oh, and Sorty's even going to turn around and find the headshot. What a quick reaction from the Opper. This is 4-4, and it might go from bad to worse here. Especially if the weapons are going to be taken away. There's the op drop towards middle, and Sorty might just try and run down and try and hold on to it. Now, he might risk the op that he has in play, but it might just be worth it. And actually, Ninjas, they're not going to even attempt to try and get that one back. So they'll save AK and M4, but no op. And they don't have the money to purchase one either.
Yeah, as we said, the T side at this point has more than enough cash, right? So even if they lose a couple of guns, they're going to be all right as soon as they don't let NA Young Nip hold on. So right now you're just making an educated guess. You're like, yeah, probably they won't let us save the AVP, so let's not be too greedy. Let's hold on to what we have. You know, count your blessings. You have an M4, you have an AK. You can buy if you want to. You can buy if you want to, and play around those rifles, which is probably the one that you're gonna go for because you want to have everyone on AVP as well. You want to have the utility to try and contest maybe Banana, try and contest brackets. Hasn't really been the most proactive CT side that we've seen from the young ninjas. Well, typically their CT side has a lot to do with, you know, setting up the nice or the right setups and stacks, and just having good reads on what's going on. But yeah, we haven't really seen too much action taking place. That's a nice idea from Nilo on the boost. Might be able to catch Crowd off guard. Oh, get spotted. That's a lovely spot from Crowd there. Make sure he doesn't get surprised by a cheeky play like that. He knows what buy he's up against. Good awareness.
Oh, and they go back into the boost there. But the Molly's going to force them out of position, forces them into fights, and Nilo's going to win both of them. Now, Shafi dinked in the back, and this is definitely in Young Ninja's favor right now. Oh, another dink, another pistol kill. Adam B with that deagle, of course, finishing the job that the M4 did start. Air is going to pick up that M4 and begin to wield it. And while FORZE are going to try and maybe reposition, NIP, or rather young NIP, they've pushed all the way through bananas. So they're fast on the flank. And once the Opera goes down, if Sorty does go down here, that's the round surely done and dusted.
Yeah, on the low HP as well, you kind of hope that the Opera is going to be able to find somebody off guard, and then that's going to create an opener for Shofi to work with. Still a nice reaction on Nilo, and he can actually hold on to the AK-47. His team has enough money. No need to give away another premium T-side rifle to the CT side to play. 5 rounds on the board for NIP. Nilo coming back to life though with a massive double kill towards the B-bomb side. This is exactly what you needed from him in a round like that, especially considering that the initial play didn't work out, right? I mean, they go for the first boost. It gets really well spotted by crowd, and at this point you just think, okay, now they're gonna panic, just run back the bomb side and probably get run down. But they actually repositioned quite quickly. They had the second boost in mind, which was, you know, it's impressive that they're able to get on top of it so quickly. Nilo gets the first kill, then drops down immediately, tries to pick up a third kill, gets caught in transition, so to speak, but still manages to win the fight. Just decent stuff from him. With grenades towards the brackets, though, in this round from the T side, as they're going to be trying to catch Era off guard. Oh.
Era completely flashed him, manages to find a kill. As a result, puts the pressure on Adam B, but he's able to stand the test, and more than that, and more so. 3 kills for him in towards the pit. And now where does Sorty go? He's got no teammates left. That round went a little bit quicker from FORZE, and it was over a whole lot quicker. 6-4. Young Ninjas should extend their lead, but Sorty, is the play just to hang on to the op here, or is it to do some damage to the CT economy while you can?
Yeah, at this point you can make a choice. I feel like the damage isn't really worth it that much. I mean, you can try. It's 45 seconds. You have enough money, but you know that the CTs are starting to build up that economy. It's still 1 versus 5. You know they need to massively overstep the mark if you want to have an even slight chance of picking up more than 1 kill here and not get immediately refragged straight after the fact. So yeah, he's going to hold on to the AVP. That's going to be 6 rounds on the board for the Young Ninjas. Once again, regaining their lead. Let me remind you all that they're joining in right now. This is our final round of 16 game here at the CCT West Europe Series 1. Is the debut of the CCT edition. And so far, we've had 7 teams, I believe it is, proceed into the quarterfinals. The winner of this map in this series will be our final team to make it into the next round of playoffs. 2 O's all over the way. Before this game, that was first 3 mapper of the round of 16. We have GODSENT taking on Illuminar on Wednesday. That's going to be the early game. Then we have, or rather, GODSENT taking on GamerLegion, sorry. Illuminar is going to be playing Apeks later the same day. And then we're going to have Spirit Academy taking on the Falcons and iNation taking on the winners of this matchup right here and right now on Inferno. The Young Ninjas did manage to win map number 1. It was their map pick on Mirage. Then FORZE leveled it up on Overpass. And here we are, 6-4. Trying to figure out which one of those is going to proceed into the quarters.
Ninjas actively fighting towards banana, looking to stop FORZE in their tracks, and they're going to need a little bit of utility to do so here, and that's okay. You just expand that small little bit. But what isn't okay is you've lost Shafi out towards long. That's a little bit of a problem. Now, if FORZE want to continue to push past the smoke and take top banana, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're just going to maneuver their way around. Result is still on a little bit of a lurk, but he is quite low. Crad in a similar position. And Young Ninjas have this round in the palm of their hands right now. They just need to make sure that the site holds are as good as they have been so far, and Adam B, that's it, just going to find that massive headshot, a massive kill, but he's going to rotate away for the moment. Era hits that shot onto Zorti, now realizing, okay, I've left a little bit of a gap here that they might begin to exploit, and they have done so. Krat is going to now walk upon him from long, and Jerry from short. So still a 2v2 on this site.
Yeah, but Maxter's hiding. He's not going to be peeking. Even if they find the kill onto the side player, now they've heard the scope. Now they know. There's the kill. But look at Maxter. He's still underneath the balcony. They have no idea. He can deny the bomb plant. No, he doesn't see him. He doesn't spot anything, but they still don't have a confirmation. They suspect he could be towards the pit, but have no idea about the other possibility. Maxter picks up both kills. Played expertly. Yes, he lets them plant the bomb, but still wins the round. 4 players survive. Young Ninjas looking really solid now on the CT side.
I mean, you give up the bomb plant, yeah, that's okay, though. I mean, you know, you give up the bomb plant, but you're able to win the round afterwards. Okay, it's a little bit of bonus money for FORZE, but...
Era's got 10k.
Yeah, it doesn't really matter all that much. So, the round does go in your favor, 7-4. The lead is now 3, and your Opper is in a fantastic financial position.
Yeah, everyone's in a really decent financial position, to be fair.
Can't relate.
Nope. I like this one. It was good. Especially after a long day. Let's see though. Era, speaking about his financial position, his position with hitting some shots has been good in the past couple rounds. Sure, still only on 5 kills, but hasn't really been missing a whole lot of those important shots. Adam B gets hard done in the fight against Result. Maxter still towards the back of the bomb site, manages a double, but there goes Krat to shut him down. But it's Era once again with some big shots that need to get landed, but he misses with the first one. And this could be the end of the round. It's a complete lockdown of the A bomb side. And both Nilo and LNZ unfortunately don't have their visas for that part of the map.
Badly. They won't even attempt this one. So it's a 7-5 scoreline. The 5 rounds on the T side so far for FORZE, you know, it's okay, but they really need just that little bit more. You know, they'd feel a lot safer on 6, maybe 7. But right now, FORZE has done a good job just to win that round, because if they lose it, then it becomes a little bit scary for them. They just keep Young Ninjas within touching distance, which is very important.
Yeah, quite important. Especially knowing that Inferno's one of the fairly T-sided maps in the pool, one of the few. We said that in the start of the day. Obviously, we started it with an Inferno, and we're gonna end it with an Inferno. I've just realized that. That's really wholesome. But yeah, in the end of the day, that's one of the maps on which you expect to have some more success on the T side, and you know that people like Nilo and LNZ are going to have a lot of free roam on their T side after we go for the switch. So you want to make sure you post a couple more here, as you have that chance in half number 1. Funnily enough, by the way, Young Ninjas are right now on a 3-game losing streak on Inferno, losing to EYEBALLERS into the breach and HAVU, but this one looking a lot better. Result once again manages an opening kill into the apartments. Takes down Adam B. That's twice in a row now. The Young Ninjas don't really over-rotate on the back of losing that initial player. LNZ is going to stick around. I say that, though. Now he's getting worried about the potential of a wrap through CT spawn, and that's going to leave Nilo all exposed. He's all alone. He's got only an 8 and a flash to work with. He needs some support.
See, that's the thing, the conditioning that's kind of gone on towards this B site. They're so afraid of that long wrap, so they should be. Molly is going to fail, it's not going to matter. Nilo's in no man's land. LNZ just going to swing through the smoke, go. There's a double anymore, runs out of bullet, swaps to the deagle, but he's not going to be able to find the headshot in time. Maxter takes a big risk, and, well, Jerry, he glocks 2 people, taking both of them down, and now Era has to rotate into an already fallen bomb site. It's completely and utterly compromised. And so is this round. There's no way you get back into this one. 7-6. The lead is now cut to 1.
Oh, that's so terrible from Nilo's perspective there as well, right? Because you said the conditioning has been really good from Forza. They've made them so afraid of that long wrap, even if they have the peak. Because I think they had Era from short side, just staring down middle. But still, they knew there was that slight possibility of another T player just walking through their lines into CT spawn and being a threat. So they rotate LNC back. Then they realize what's going on. They rotate a couple people back, but Nilo doesn't get a single kill. So everyone just needs to run through smoke, go for hero plays, and just hope that they get fortunate. Era, thankfully for him, he's going to be able to hold on to the ABP, it seems like. Got a bit pressured there towards the latter stages of that previous round, but still manages to hold on to the big green gun for this penultimate round of the first half. 7-6 in favor of the young ninjas. Forza still keeping it close, still keeping it competitive. As we said, Jerry with a massive triple kill. He had a great performance on map number 2. He slowed it down here on Inferno, but comes back to life when they need him the most. For those of you that missed it, Jerry did post a 25-17 game on Overpass, which was absolutely phenomenal. Era, the only one that was above him on 31-18. Both have cooled off a little bit here.
Still 2 rounds though for them to speed it back up. Get back into the swing of things. Oh, flash comes in. Era doesn't want to go into the Molotov. Of course, he is blind, but he can still hear it. So it does want to step into that and take any unnecessary damage. He is, of course, tagged down just a small little bit, but it is FORZE. Now, with a fair decent amount of map control, I mean, they do have brackets, whether result, I mean, he's clearing it, but he doesn't really know for sure if they have it all that, or just yet, rather. Brad is the headshot into Era as they make their way into the site. Flash is good enough for Nilo to have one, but Sordy is able to refrag his teammate. So that's the B-bomb site down. Result now on alert once again. It's going to have a little bit of impact, and there's even going to be a second player that they mightn't be too aware of. Shalfie still in the apartments, and Maxter and Adam B still need to be so careful about this. Where do they want to save? The answer is probably going to be in towards the pit. Shalfie, I mean, if he goes down here, it's not a problem at all. They can buy, or rather drop for him. Taking these rifles away could make a massive difference in this next round.
They're all going.
Nice shot. Adam B didn't stand a chance, and Maxter burns a little bit in the pit for the moment. Flash is coming in. He's swarmed by the T's, and he is going to be overwhelmed. Taken down. No rifle saved, and a team ace. Team effort.
Yeah, you gotta love the switch of pace though, and the conditioning, as you pointed out. Obviously, another thing that you gotta love is the CCT code over at Hellcase. So make sure you click the banner below the stream. But getting back into the game, is the fact that they're switching up so much with you know, some of the tells that there is in their game on the T side. There's not a lot of those, right? Because you'd see them make a lot of noise towards Banana, then the long player goes for a fight, and then they re-aggress Banana. That's how it's been done so far this game from Forza. But this previous round, they just contact their way out of the B-bomb side, and the Lurker, for the first time ever, was just there purposely to cut off rotations. It's been a really good switch of pace, and speaking about that, once again, they go for an early peek. A quick 1-for-1, though, as they head back towards that A-bomb side and right into the waiting arms of Adam B and Maxter.
Can they stop FORZE this time towards short? They'll actually double peek it, and Zorty's not going to be able to get a trade onto result. He goes down. Shalfie now on a long lurk once again. Is he going to cause all the problems? Yeah, they've missed him completely. Zorty needs to be careful though. He's been walked upon by that MP9. No problem. And Shalfie accounted for. He's going to be taken down. It's an 8-7 half, as close as you're going to get in Counter-Strike, and I'd expect nothing less from this decider.
Back to the action straight away, ladies and gentlemen, as once again, I choke on air. But we are getting into the second half here of action. Map number 3, Young Ninjas taking on FORZE. Last game in the round of 16 in the middle. Rush to kick things off here for the CT side.
Strange call from FORZE, but it's so strange that it might just work. They'll push all the way down. They'll find 2 initial kills, but they won't find the bomb. That is eluded them for the moment, and ADB should be able to get out onto this A site without any problems whatsoever. Maxter trying to cut off the rotation, but he is alone, and if he goes down, then a problem does arise. There's a player in Mexi that might go unaccounted for as well, but Chaffee's going to be holding for it this time. Adam B dropped on the site. Maxter now left in a 1 versus 3. Surely we don't see this again. On the pistol, he's going to sit and fade that long smoke, and actually, he's going to walk all the way through. He's heard the steps, finds the first kill. Nice headshot, a high-low being played here, and Shalfie makes sure that he will not clutch up once again. And we will trade pistols on the decider. Defuse comes in, no problem. 8-8, we're level.
Whew, that was for the ace as well, by the way. So he would have gotten a second sick highlight on the pistol rounds. And when you think about it, Maxter's on 18 and 6. 3 of his kills in this pistol round, 3 in the previous. That's 6. And then he had a triple in the second round of half 1 as well. So that's half his kills in the manner of 3 rounds. Crazy to think about it. 8-8 though. You still gotta feel like the Young Ninjas are gonna be going into this second half feeling a bit optimistic, right? Especially with the tendencies of Inferno being a slightly T-sided map, both those teams being a bit better on the T side on a good day. I feel optimistic for Nilo and the boys. LNZ and the boys. Everyone else and the boys. Let's see how they fare with the FORZE buy here. 2 rifles, 3 pistols, slowly making their way out of middle. And Nilo's just waiting for the signal to throw the smoke, just burst out of the apartments.
Yeah, Results goes by though, and that could be a problem. First player is actually going to get past. Result can't stop him. Shalfie is going to be dead. Result as well. Sorry on the site. Now playing around that smoke, but Maxter drops him too. And in turn, that a bomb site does fall, but not without a fight. And FORZE are not without a chance. They still have an opportunity. Mollies will go in. 1 just to clear out. Big Pit as Crad now using that smoke to his advantage. Just 2 players on the site. Nilo and Mini Pit. He needs to be cleared, and he is not going to. Young Ninjas do hold on to that A site, and they do regain that lead. The force bite works out in their favor, and that's horrible for FORZE because it absolutely shatters their money, and they have to force back.
And Maxter got another triple kill. So when you think about it, if we counted the first 2 rounds of each respective half, Maxter has gotten 12 kills in those 4 rounds. That's crazy. This is probably the greatest, like, individually, this is probably the best individual start to the first 2 rounds, the pistol and the conversion that we've had so far in the tournament on a single map. Crazy stuff for Maxter. And again, even though he is the one to pick up the kills in the end, I feel like we need to give a lot of credit to Nilo and the amount of space that he wins for his team. As soon as the first player gets taken down in a round like that, it becomes a whole lot different and a whole lot more difficult for the T's to get space and make it awkward, because this is your chance in a round like that. You got to make it awkward for the CT side. And when Nilo jumps out of the apartments, this is exactly what happens, right? It's just chaos all over the place. It's T's swarming pit, under balcony, graveyard, the bomb side. And if you're FORZE, you just see 4 people on your screen. You're wondering who you should be shooting. 9-8, another tactical timeout coming in for the FORZE boys. We saw one after the first pistol round. Now we're seeing one after round number 2 of half number 2. And with the FORZE buy in line in the apartment setup, they would be hoping for the best. But judging by the first couple seconds of this round, it doesn't look like NIP 2. Well, it doesn't look like they feel too generous in a round like that to just give away to the pistols for free. So they might have to take it by force. And this is what they've tried to do. And so far, it's been fairly successful.
1 for 1. I wouldn't say it's extremely successful. 2 for 2 now, of course. FORZE have actually rotated everybody over towards this A site. That's where they're expecting the play to come in from the Young Ninjas side.
Yep,
But
it's a good
bottom
call
goes
from
to
the
B.
Ninjas.
Yeah, just to go all the way back. Now realizing what might be going on, Shafi could be caught in a horrible timing here. As he makes the steps, he's going to pick up the rifle, or try to anyway. Gets his hands on it, and Nilo is going to be unsuccessful in stopping him. And Nilo might be unsuccessful completely in this round, as two players were looking at him. But Jerry finds that, or excuse me, Jerry finds his imminent death towards B.
Yeah, he still found something.
Yeah.
Not as positive.
No, it was a negative that he found.
Well, it kind of depends.
In
Sometimes,
what way? What? In what way?
Well, I guess sometimes you're just like, just get it over with. Let's say you're playing a full Glock round or full USP round, 5 USPs, and you've waited to have the guns. You just wanted to get over with. You know? You've had those?
Yeah, I've had a few of them, yeah. But that one, I mean, definitely not
Yeah.
that kind of round. Especially with getting Nilo so low. If Era goes down, then it's just max there completely,
It's
really.
Yeah.
10-8.
But it's Young Ninjas up to 10 rounds, and now we're gonna get closer, slowly but surely, to the point of which we're gonna be able to actually witness FORZE on the buy round. The Young Ninjas obviously are gonna try and use that bonus time period that they have. You know, get a couple clean multi kills. You know, boost up the confidence. Baxter has been capitalizing on the pistols and the anti-forces, if you know what I mean.
I do indeed. He has been, of course, farming those kills.
Yeah.
21 and 6. You might get a few more here, but actually, it's Era to take point as of right now. Still 4 players in the site, and one of them has a FAMAS, so something you need to be a little bit cautious about. And well, they'll find out the FAMAS early on. So, Ninjas might just head back and explore their other options, being A. Result is here. Alone for the minute. Crad only has a USP, so it isn't going to be too much support.
Oh no.
Timing. That's so
No
unfortunate.
way.
That's so unfortunate.
You know what? I feel his pain. I'm so sad for Result right now. That's so sad. Is the fact that the apartments player behind him starts running at the exact same time that the short players start running as well, and he doesn't hear him. Like, Nilo was going guns blazing, full W into his crosshair, and Result just turns around. He doesn't realize that's a player running by his side in apartments. He thinks that it's the short guys. It's that's sad. Well, I guess it's just gonna be another round. As you said, diligent enough stuff from the Young Ninjas. They spot the gun, a quick 1-for-1. You just run it back towards the A-bomb side. You make sure it's going to be a quick enough run as well, so you don't give enough time to the rifle to reposition. Luckily enough, Shelfie got tagged down low, so he decides, you know what, I'm not actually taking my chances. I'm going to stick to the B-bomb side. If you come here, fair enough. I'm going to be able to have another go at it. If you don't, I'm just going to hold on to the FAMAS. It's going to make life a little bit easier for us going into the next buy round, as money is still not looking, well, in the best shape possible. No AVP nonetheless for the CT side yet. A lot of rifles, though. A fair amount of utility. And Estradamus trying to hold a crazy rundown banana from Jerry.
Big round here for FORZE to try and get back into the game and not let Young Ninjas continue to plow on through Inferno. As so far, they have pretty much plowed through the defenses bar one round. Of course, that being the pistol. It's been one-way traffic since. Util being exchanged on brackets. And it is pretty heavy control that FORZE are going to be trying to keep the Young Ninjas at bay from popping on through. And it's the correct decision just to fall back for the moment. They are going to maybe explore options towards B. They're going to show a little bit of presence towards Banana, but it might just be the fake and they might just come back. Still, FORZE, they have a really good read of what's going on here. They still have 4 players. They are not buying the bluff. They're not buying the rotations. But it doesn't matter if you're buying the bluff, if you're buying the rotations. If you have people here, you still need to win the fight. Result
There's
isn't.
no way.
Sorry, isn't going to win it either. Shafi and Jerry are now on the site. Shafi's down. They haven't picked up a single kill. And
No
they won't
way.
pick up a single kill. The A defenders have been absolutely bombarded on that A site. And now it's Crad to walk towards Speedway, and he might go down for free as well, and indeed
No
he
bloody
will.
way.
A clean T round, even though they had the perfect read.
How is that possible? How is it possible that not a single Young Ninjas player falls down in this round? They just walk in between two smokes towards short and long. Behind both smokes, there is a CT spamming with the silenced M4 and doing a whole lot of damage. Gaps through the smokes. They're spotting people running. People that are 1 HP. Everyone just gets double peeked. Everyone gets absolutely annihilated. They don't get a single kill on the board. They had the perfect call. They knew, okay, they realized that they've been stopped by the Molotov, so they might try and run it back just to fake it. We're gonna stay with the stack. And now, on the back of that damage, they're actually gonna try and switch it up with the half-buy, and it's worked out perfectly. A double from the MP9, one from the Scout, and suddenly, just 25 seconds into the round, it's a 5 versus 2 in favor of FORZE.
I mean, unless Adam B. and Maxter can somehow pull
What
Young
a
Ninjas
madness.
back into this round, I mean, that's really, really impressive from FORZE. You know, they don't, rest on, okay, we lost a round that we probably shouldn't have. Let's just go and take this one away, and with very limited invested as well. I mean, yes, they all have MP9s, but they all bought down to 2K, so they were really putting their eggs into, the next round's basket, if that makes any sense at all. Now, 55 seconds for Young Ninjas to get anything done, and the information has been gathered. They have been spotted towards bottom banana. FORZE just need to play these nasty off angles and hope for the best, and that's exactly what he's going to be doing, holding for that long wrap, making sure that his B players aren't going to be in too much trouble. And Young Ninjas are going to walk this direction as well. So that could be an issue. So he's going to peek out. Timing is perfect. And he's going to find the double. It is nearly a clean round for FORZE. They only lose one player. But they save 3 AKs when all they had invested was MP9s and Scouts.
Yeah, that was absolutely phenomenal. What a way to bounce back into such kind of a round. And you know that Young Ninjas are going to be feeling hella good about themselves after the previous round, right? So you just send them back to planet Earth, pretty much. It's just a wake-up call from the Young Ninjas to realize that this game is not over just yet. It's 12-9. They're still in a really good spot, though, but you need to take it over the finish line. AVP in the hands of Zordi. A really nice buy around. Money injection for the CT side. Zordi going for an opening, misses the chance, and gets punished by Maxter.
Oh, there's still 2 players here as well. Will Jerry get Maxter on their retreat? And yes, he will. Just playing around that smoke. He's just being cheeky. Our Jerry. Oh, and a nice headshot to LNZ as well. But Era refrags it eventually. Crad realizing that somebody could be walking through the smoke, and he had the perfect idea of what was going on there. Knew exactly where Era was going.
Yeah, but look at Nilo. He's already made his way out of short. He knows that surely there's going to be a solo defender towards that A-bomb side. Still wants to make sure that Adam B is going to be close enough. So if Nilo goes down, there's going to be someone else nearby to try and get the refrag on time. And even though FORZE have that aggression towards the top of Banana and the idea is not going to be quick enough, Nilo doesn't hard clear the angle, and that's going to cost his teammates life. And now he needs to play it in the 1 versus 3. Result doing a whole lot of work there, staying alive, Molotoving the bomb. Nilo can still pick that one up. Now he's getting slowly and surely circled by those CTs. He's going to try and find an opening. To be fair to him, he's got a lot of time to work with. Sticks the bomb plant, makes sure that they get the money. Now it's 1 versus 3. Some crisp shots need to be landed. There's the first one, the Krat lands him with the refrag. I think there was an HE on top of him as well that might have done a whole lot of damage. So the round will go in favor of FORZE. Only 2 surviving, but it's all right. At this point, you just want to try and get closer.
He's going to run and try and get his hands on the op. And he will be able to recover it. Defuse pulled off. That's time. But plenty of money in the T pockets. But at least the reset potential isn't super harsh. I mean, well, we'll see what happens when everybody's bought up. But on Crad and Zorty, they should be fine. I mean, actually, never mind. I'm going to retract that statement. This is still a must-win round here for FORZE. Yes, they'll have Crad and Zorty to buy. You know, they could probably bring out a hero op and a hero rifle. But
I can edit that. It's a must-win or a must-2 gun saved.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with you.
Yeah, James agrees with me as well. Wonder if Jerry's had his James ritual before the start of this game.
Oh my.
They're both from the same region, only reason I'm saying that.
Oh, that one caught me completely off guard.
You know, if you know a trick to be better in the server, why not?
Yeah, okay. Right. Yeah, that's enough. Sorry. He's gonna walk into short here. Jerry's just gonna swing past that Molotov, but Adam B is gonna be holding. Oh, and Zorty is gonna get one on the exit. Nearly sets himself for the second, but Aaron knew he had the time and the space to take an opportunity, and he grabs it with both hands. Now, he might be able to get the off with both hands, if at all possible. Result, nice kill onto Nilo, looking for maybe a little bit more, but he's still alive, and that's a problem for Young Ninjas. They need to try and clear him out of this position. They haven't spotted that smoke proving difficult, but Shafi walks right through and gives away a kill. An absolute gift handed to Era. Oh, but that's a gift handed right back, and a gift in terms of bomb wrapped in a nice little care package for us. They will continue to push through and plow through this half. A resurgence from the CIS men. And 12-11. Now, where do Young Ninjas go from here?
Yeah, Era there going for a bit of a wild jump, but you gotta understand it. He was on a timer. He knew that as long as the smoke fades, he's probably gonna die. So tries to make his best effort to get into the bomb site and get a bomb down. Doesn't manage to get any success though. Another solid round on the CT side for FORZE. And by the way, a person that we haven't really talked about that much, I think Result deserves a lot of credit for how I'd say that he's playing some really solid CS. He looks like a mature player. He looks like a grown-ass player in the server. And you know, it's really tough when you say that about someone that hasn't really had any experience on that level before. Even the young Ninjas players have more experience than Result playing big CS, right? Well, relatively big for their standard, that is. And Result's been doing really well since getting picked up. You know, at the LAN finals of the CCT, he had a really good performance. Maybe not as good online for the closed qualifier for the RMR, but he's been really solid in this game as well. Solid as Zorty as well. Receives the flash. First one in the back. Maxter there with the refrag. Now the Young Ninjas decide to call it off and try their luck elsewhere. Heading towards Shelfie in this A-bomb side.
Oh, Shelfie with a double. That's absolutely huge. And now it's been given away. They know exactly where the bomb is. Zorty looking towards the apartments. It's a quick kill. And surely this is going to be a quick round for FORZE in their favor. Result with the last. As it's 12-12. We're level once again. And you're just seeing that wealth of experience now from FORZE. You're seeing why they are a top team at this level.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's never going to be easy to close out a game against them, is it? Even if you start off well, even if you feel like you're in your best shape, it's never easy to close out a best of 3 against Jerry and co.
Not at all. It does come with its problems. Well, the Young Ninjas, they're experiencing that firsthand, of course. We'll now see if a little bit of a set piece can go their way. Oh, Nilo. Oh, tries to time it perfectly, and Result was relatively fortunate that he wasn't in the midst of throwing that HE. However, he is still up close on the balcony, so if he's able to stop these players from making their way out, that would be absolutely huge. The flash comes in, but Result finds that first kill, stops the first player in their tracks, and the second, I say that, no, Maxter able to find it, but the CTs are already here. They swing through the smoke, and they shut that one down. As FORZE look to take the lead, 13-12, Era should go down over the top of that smoke, and indeed he will. 3 away from closing out this series and booking a place in the quarterfinals. Ted, let's not forget where they will, of course, face on against the Serbians of iNation, who won a little bit earlier on.
Yeah, both teams in the RMR as well, so it would be an interesting derby. Let's not count Young Ninjas out of the game yet, though. Maxter's on 26 kills. Yeah, true. Most of his kills, well, half of his kills happened in the first 2 rounds, the opening 2 rounds of each respective half, but still, gotta know that the confidence is gonna be up there, but it's been really solid. And once again, this previous round, Result gets only 1 kill, but it's the first one, and stopping them on such a pop play is massive. Look at Chalky. He's gotten himself into a great angle. I don't think that Nilo spotted him. He has no idea. That's going to be a free kill for Shelfie. Every day of the week, he's going to claim that. He doesn't realize that Nilo's so close, but as soon as Nilo decides, you know what, I'm going to walk closer, that's going to be a free kill. Zordy might give away his life, and oh, is Shelfie playing for more than one? Yeah, he's playing the trigger discipline, realizes there's not any more on offer, but they don't know that Adam B is so close, don't realize it. Now they get alerted. But Shelfie's going for more. He's going to push towards Mexi. They have no idea. Era, he's thinking about it. He's going to clear him. Shelfie still wins the fight regardless. That's a massive round from Shelfie.
Oh, and he finds another. Adam B drops down and just gifting him kills at this stage. Shelfie, this is a 14th round that you single-handedly are putting the finishing touches of. And now LNZ and Maxter, they're going to try and make their way in towards B, but it is just with hope. And when you have nothing else, you have hope. That's all. As Zorty holds the line for a shot landed, Molly is going to go down. Maxter gets the refrag, but he's completely isolated. He's completely locked in. He can't go back. He can't go forward. Not at least without a fight. 25 seconds. There's a little bit of time for him to maneuver. He can get another CT smoke down if he wants, but at this stage, it is looking very desperate indeed, not only for him, but for Young Ninjas in general. FORZE will pull into the lead with 2 in just a matter of moments. He'll clear out the backside, but he won't get even a chance to press a single digit into that bomb. 14 now to 12. And what do Young Ninjas, how do they answer back with what can only be say as a mid-buy?
Yeah, what a big play from Shelfie that is. And that's the annoying part about playing against Shelfie, right? Because he's not having a bad game, but he's not having as good of a game as you'd expect from him for his standards, right? Here on Inferno. He's still doing his job, but he is that guy in a 12-13 round. One of the most, if not the most important round so far of the game itself. He's going to go for that solo play towards the apartments for the first time on the CT side. HE in the room. Steps not hurt because of the explosion of the nade. Just gets into a really good position. Gets the kill. Easy stuff from him. And even goes for more. Gets the first one. You'd think, okay, surely he's got him for the aggressive play. Now he falls back and plays the man advantage. No way. No, he doesn't. Goes for more. Gets 2 more. As soon as he confirms the triple, that's the round over. You can try and get as many kills as possible. And now they've made a tough decision to buy for this. They're not playing for overtime. They've put all their eggs into one basket, and this basket has 2 Galils, 2 AKs, a MAC-10, and not enough utility for a lot of fakes and a lot of defaults.
Oh, you need pretty much a set piece, and what a set piece this is from the CTs as they just take banana control with ease. Shut down 2 players in turn as well. And now it's Young Ninja's turn to fight back, to show what they're made of, or else they could be bowing out in the round of 16 here. As Jerry deploys a Molotov and he is gonna plan his escape route.
Yeah, that's a whole lot different. Last round, Shelfie could have went for more. Now it's a 5 versus 3. You're going to be playing from the back of the side. They still have 2 smokes. A Molotov for Jerry. He's just going to be jump spotting. He can delay for as long as possible. And he's still got Shelfie to support him. That's so much information. Bomb spotted as well. They can make this the most annoying round for Young Ninjas. Now they have no other choice. They need to walk back into the A-bomb side where Krad resides, supported by Zorty. Now, the good news is that Krad's actually low on HP here.
They're going to try and creep their way out of the apartments, but the issue is Sorty is locked in. Right now, here's the swing. Ooh. What a great peek that is from Nilo. Needs to be instant on the headshot, but the jump out short. Result finds 2. How about a third? He's just staying alive, and Crad will do the rest. 15-12. FORZE have a map and series. Round of 16 point.
Yeah, it was actually result towards the under balcony. It wasn't even Crad, so it doesn't make a difference that Crad was low on HP. Obviously, that Hellcase banner appearing maybe for what it was the last time so far, or the last time in the series and the last time on this map for sure. So make sure you click it below the stream, click the banner, head over to Hellcase. But again, man, results has been so great. I mean, I've loved the work from this guy. He's not the flashiest player out there. He's surely not the one that's gonna drop 30. But the fact that he's always doing his job in that scenario, if he falls without a single kill, this is a round that the young ninjas could win easily. The peak that they should be getting and they don't is the one from the Oper. Nilo just completely annihilates Zorti towards the back of the site. Results all alone. Yeah, he gets the double kill and then gets support from Crad, but unless he does get the double kill, this is a completely competitive round for the ninjas, if not a round that they win. But once again, he holds strong. He's been impressive. He's been really impressive. Great stuff.
And Sorty starting it off with a bang. And could that be the curtain closed now on Young Ninjas in the CCT? The one of the 2 unbeaten teams throughout the whole entire main Swiss, bested by a playoff invited team. Maybe, just maybe. Or is there gonna be another twist, another turn in this tale? As we are towards the tail end, but a nasty surprise lies towards Long, Shalfie and Zorti. They cut down 2 Young Ninjas players, and it's down to just 2, Nilo and Adam B. Adam B reacts with 1, a Tech 9 in hand, finds that quick kill. Nilo drops the off of Zorti, and now a 2v4 becomes a 2v2. Bomb picked up. They group up. Jerry Doe is going to swing, lines up both, but won't knock both of them down. Not just yet. And they know Result is the A player. They know he's the pit player. So Adam B is going to get his runners on, head over towards this B bomb site, and try and clutch up one more time. Another triple kill maybe on the cards, but this one has so much weight to it. Result realizing now. But where does Adam B want to position himself? And it's towards first oranges. He could be absolutely anywhere. And Result has to go somewhat quick about it. Has to be cautious about how he clears out these angles. But maybe, just maybe, he's not going to be expecting this. Low HP at Adam B. He needs to be perfect. But Result clears him out. And that is going to be it. 16-12. FORZE get it done. They book a place in the quarterfinals where they will face iNation. And Young Ninjas bow out.
Yeah, what a way to close it out as well for FORZE. It's been absolutely spectacular. An insane display of individual skill from the Young Ninjas. And, you know, they did continue their really a streak from the main Swiss, Jack. We spoke about that before the start of the game. Obviously, you mentioned it just a couple seconds ago. They are only one of the 2 unbeaten teams throughout the main Swiss. So we did expect some nice stuff from them. I guess that Mirage caught us off guard. The really sharp Nilo caught us off guard. Well, not caught us off guard by how good he was, but the fact that it was so easy for him to make FORZE look helpless. And we talked about it after the first map was over. We haven't seen FORZE that helpless in a long time on a single map. But, you know, it was all that it was, a single map. Map 2, a lot closer as well than maybe what FORZE were hoping for, but still one in the back. And this Inferno was just great from them.
Yeah, really, really impressive stuff. And of course, that sets up a lovely match versus iNation tomorrow. Also, we've got tomorrow, I believe, starting us off at 9 a.m. my time. So 10 CET, Ted, you're gonna be enjoying that because I remembered this time. Spirit Academy will be taking on Falcons. We've got GODSENT versus GamerLegion, Illuminar versus Apeks, and then finally the late game, of course, will be FORZE taking on iNation. And quarterfinals, and then the following day we've got semifinals and a final. So, you know, very, very important days coming up here at the CCT Western European Series 1. But for now, Ted, we are going to, of course, thank everybody from joining us at home, everybody at production, our fantastic partners. I'd like to thank you for joining me, Ted, for these 2 final games of the day. And make sure you stick around tomorrow, or rather join us back tomorrow for the quarterfinals action when we are getting towards the closing stages of this event. But until then, we'll see you soon.
A very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-bet.
Win up to $1 million with your CSGO esports predictions. Simply guess the kill scores of the 10 players in a CSGO match. The more you guess correctly, the bigger the prize. You'll need at least 2 correct predictions to win a prize. Guess all 10 correct and win $1 million. Experience the exciting new way to add a little prosperity when watching esports tournaments. And register now to receive a free entry ticket upon sign-up. Predict kills, win millions, prosper.
You look into your inventory and there's only... It's time to forget about this garbage. Here you will find everything to play with really cool skins. Open top cases. Upgrade dropped skins and turn your junk into a cool gun using the contract system. Every day, thousands of people upgrade their inventory with us. Hellcase.com. Look at yourself in a new way.